Let's go.
Welcome back to Shenanigans, episode 15. This one is gonna be a hefty one, so let's get right into it.
Bro, I slapped my coworker in the face today at work.
What?
We were fucking around, we were horseplaying, and I slapped him on accident. He walked into a right slap.
Damn.
I got his ass, though.
Did he
But,
get mad?
no, I hugged him, and I was like, I'm sorry. I
Damn.
felt bad. Anyway,
I
I
got
just felt like
some.
saying that.
I got sunburnt as fuck at work today. I worked on a roof all day today and yesterday and all week this week, and we're working 10 hours.
Caleb is a hard-working man.
10-hour days, not 10-hour weeks.
Dude, 10-hour shifts, like, would kill my legs, man. I don't know. I got, like, bad ankles or something.
I like the overtime, man. Overtime is good.
True. I mean, I hate working, so I'll just do what I need to do. But let's just get right into the NBA. The Magic lost. We did not win in 6. We got eliminated. Donovan Mitchell pisses me off. He is an op now. You know, watching him drop 50 in Game 6, even though we won, really, really pissed me off. Like, what?
Oh, Donovan Mitchell will do everything.
I respect his game, but Jesus, why can't we? Like, what? Why couldn't we stop him at all? I don't know. We're like the second best defense. We could do nothing. Do we have to have a Wemby or a Gobert or something?
I mean,
Oh yeah, Wemby won the
you
Rookie of the Year.
nice. You need to
Yeah.
have a scorer that's not Paolo.
Yeah, Franz shit the bed.
Franz is good, but he's only gonna be so good. You're gonna need a consistent guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I was really wrong about Jalen Suggs last year when I was watching him. Seemed like he couldn't do anything except run to the rim really fast and then turn the ball over. But now this year he's like one of the best defenders, and he's like he can knock down some threes for sure. He was doing it, and then he stopped. But he was hitting some nice ones. And then this dude Max Strus was hitting like every time we would get close to cutting the lead back in Game 7, he would fucking like he hit a mean 3 to just like shove it in my face like we're coming, bro. You're gonna lose. He didn't
Oh
hit too
yeah.
many, but he hit like 4 3-shots, 3-pointers. So I was like, I don't know, they were just really good. They really pissed me off.
Oh yeah, Struess is pretty good, man. Good role
And like
player.
they even had their center Jared Allen, I think. Yeah, he
Yep.
was out. I think twice, 2 games with rib injuries. So like, that guy was cooking us when he was in the game. So I don't know. Maybe injuries just made this a longer series than it should have been. But like,
It was a
yeah, we
defensive
don't have
series too. Y'all are both good at defense.
Nah, I think it's like we're good at defense and really bad at offense. That's how this whole series was. I think. I mean, this whole series was pretty much just Donovan Mitchell versus the Magic, fucking themselves over. I don't know. It was pretty annoying. Like Paulo did his thing. Everyone else struggled. They had like Jonathan Isaac was okay for a few games. Jalen Suggs was okay for a few games. Nobody was consistent except Paulo. It really pissed me off. And then I mean Donovan Mitchell and Max Strus were really all the only players on the Cavaliers that were any sort of consistent. Fuck it, I'm mad.
I mean, yeah, I get that, but shit, man. So,
Paulo's certified elite though. I'll say that.
Pacers
I don't
beat
know, man.
the injured Bucks.
I'm not the only person who's been saying that Giannis is going to be out of there in another year or so. I'm just
Um,
saying.
I don't think. So. I really don't think so, but you never know, honestly.
I mean, it'll be Giannis or Dame, but I don't know.
I think it'd be Dame before Giannis.
I think so too, but I mean,
I
I
think
heard on
honestly,
another
what I
pod.
think I think they're gonna run it back, and hopefully, what they do is they at least get a younger core. Like they get younger role players. They need younger
Well,
role. They need younger role players because their guys are kind of slow, old, and sluggish. They need some shooters and defenders. They need honestly, Chris Middleton, he was hitting his stride and he was getting better, but I think that if they got rid of him if they got rid of him, that maybe Dame and Giannis could work. Dame skipped working out last off season because of the trade, because he didn't want to get injured, so he could get traded, because you can't get traded when you're injured. So he didn't train, so he'll
That's
have
weird.
he'll have a full season, off season of training with Giannis, and it'll be good. Who knows? And then if you move on from Chris Middleton, something, trade him for something good, man. I don't know.
The real moral of the story is get a damn coach. That's not Doc Rivers. Like, get
Yeah,
someone real.
that too, of course. I didn't even get to that yet,
Unfortunate.
but yeah, that's all I
Yeah, I
really had
like
to say
Doc.
about the Bucks. But
I mean, good for the Pacers. Who are they playing right now? The Knicks. The Knicks are up one on them too. So I mean,
yeah, man, that was
kind
a
of
close game. That was a really close game. The Knicks defense just clutched up at the end.
the Knicks are, you know, just coming into the playoffs pretty injured. I was low on them, man. I thought we were gonna have like a round one matchup with them at first. Then it turned out to be the Cavs, obviously. But good. I'm happy for the Knicks. Not really happy for their fans because they're kind of some douchebag fans.
They're
I
playing.
like the
They're
Pacers more, but
The Knicks are playing better, man. Than Knicks. The Knicks are playing better without Julius Randle. To be honest, I'm not gonna be. I feel like I'm not gonna the first one to say that, but I'm not shy to say that they're playing better without him so far. And Josh Hart fits really well on that team. Jalen Brunson is a star. He's the best point.
43 points for
He's the
Jalen Brunson.
best point guard in the East. That he
43.
completely turned that New York team around. Like, they're contenders now. Like, and then let me say one thing about this going on. So the Celtics, I'm gonna just spoil it. I fucking think the Celtics are gonna beat the Cavs, and I don't know how much, but they're gonna beat the Cavs, man. But I think Pacers Knicks could go either way. I personally have Knicks in 6. Like, with the way their defense is, I think their defense is good, and their team I think is just a little bit better, and they have more they have more playoff experience. So I think they'll win in 6, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Pacers won. But the thing I see about this is if they play the Celtics in the conference finals, I don't see the Pacers winning. Like, I don't see them beating the Celtics at all. I don't see that as a possibility.
But the
And
Knicks, maybe?
but the Knicks, I see them having a chance at beating them. I personally think the Celtics would beat either one of them, but if the Knicks beat the Celtics, it wouldn't surprise me. The Pacers, I would be shocked if they even beat the Celtics at all. Like, that should be like a 4 or 5 game series for the Celtics if it was Pacers Celtics.
Personally, I hope the Pacers bring it back. You know,
Oh yeah,
you said the Knicks.
I like the Pacers better, so I hope the Pacers win the series. But yeah, fuck the Celtics, man.
The Knicks. You said they have more playoff experience. Isn't this the first time they've been back in a while, or was it last year?
No, they went in 2021, I believe, when they got Julius Randle, and then 2 years after, last year after they got fucking Brunson, and then this is their third year in like 4 years making it back. They made it
Oh, okay.
without Brunson the first time.
I'm not remembering them in the playoffs in the past, but this is my first time actually locking in like that.
I mean,
Uh,
they weren't really fucking good, man. They lost to the Hawks in 5. That was a memorable series because Trae Young did his little bow thing and New York booed him.
oh, I do
Fans
remember
said they
that.
were gonna kill him and stuff.
I do remember that. They didn't have Jalen Brunson then, though, right?
Yep, that was before Jalen Brunson. Then
Right.
last year they had Jalen Brunson and they beat the Cavs in 5 in the
Didn't
first
Julius
round.
Randle make the All Pro or All Star?
Julius Randle made like a couple All Star games.
I meant this year.
Oh, I think he did.
I think he did over somebody else instead
Yeah,
of
I
Jalen
remember
Brunson.
that. I
Or
was
am I
mad
tripping?
about that in the episode.
Weird. Okay. Yeah, moving on. There is a much more exciting series going on here with the oh, well, who got eliminated since last time we did this? The Heat. Did the Heat get eliminated last time?
Yeah.
Uh
Well, I
Heat are
mean,
out, Clippers are out,
yep, the
Sixers are
Clippers.
out.
Oh yeah, the Clippers. The Mavs completely took over after the series was 2-2. Man, that was good. I'm happy for the
Yeah.
Mavs. Honestly, that was good. Now they're playing OKC. That's an exciting matchup.
Have they played? No, they're gonna play today at 9:30.
Yep, they start
Um
today. It's gonna be a great. I know, I know we both got work, but I think we should both stay up to watch a little bit of that. Honestly, bro.
we could do a Discord party or something. I would do some of that. Um, I'd rather watch it with you instead of just watching it by myself on my phone. Because like the commercials come on and I'll forget, and then I'll come back and they're right back in it. Oh shit! But
Feel that,
what else? Before we move it on to the next series, I'm just making sure we didn't miss anything.
dude. And then I want
Uh,
to give my prediction on OKC versus the Mavs. I think.
well, hold up. We got your team.
Oh,
Yeah, you're the last series we have to talk about before we go to the next one. So
Oh, you
what's up
want?
with y'all?
Oh,
Yeah.
we beat the Lakers in 5. That's not a surprise.
Oh yeah. I mean, nothing happened after that. You're still waiting to play.
Oh, well, yeah. We're down 0-2. I've been say I said I'm scared of the Timberwolves, man. I said they have a chance to beat us, and they took advantage. They beat us in both of our first 2 home games, and now it's back to game 3 and 4 in Minnesota for them. And
Yeah.
that's crazy. So we have to win 2 games away to even tie the series. But if we go down 0-3, I think it's over, and Jamal Murray might be getting suspended. So you never know, man. That's gonna be crazy.
That is so
Oh,
funny to me.
that's tough.
He's
But
mad.
but but if we go down 0-3, I think it's over. If we go down 1-3, if we go down, if they take a 3-1 lead, I think we could do it because we have, as a team with the core of Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, just before Aaron Gordon came on the team. Like, we have a better team than we did, and we came back from 2 straight 3-1 leads, and Rudy Gobert was on the Jazz team that we came back that had a 3-1 lead on us. Then we beat the Clippers, who had a 3-1 lead on us.
I
But
hope
yeah,
so, man. For your sake.
but but yeah, I hope we win the next 2 games. I hope we win the next 4 games. Honestly, do a reverse sweep. That would be awesome. But I don't know, man. I got Timberwolves, and my brain says Timberwolves in 6. My heart wants me to say uh, Nuggets in 7.
uh, I I don't know, man. Tim Timberwolves. Timberwolves in like 5, bro. Um, but why did Jamal get so mad, bro? He's not getting enough head right now. He threw that shit on the court about to kill somebody.
Damn, man. And then we talked about the 2 sweeps last episode, Minnesota and OKC. So we can get on to
So look at the
OKC
next series.
versus Dallas. I was really excited for that series. I want to say I think the Mavs are going to win in 6. They're going to have another 6-game series. I think they're going to win it again. I think the
I like
Mavs
that.
I think the Mavs are just more experienced. I know it's technically an upset based on the seeding, 5 seed versus the 1 seed, but I really think that the Mavs, just with the experience and the players that they have, and with just the duo of Kyrie and Luka and the season Luka's having, I think that they can both propel the Mavs to another conference finals series. Last season, they didn't look too good together as a duo, and people were kind of writing them off, and were kind of saying, "Oh, they don't mesh together. They're a bad duo," but they really do mesh together, and people were really high on DeJounte Murray and the Hawks and stuff, with Trey Young, but after a season and a half or 2 seasons of that, it's been shown that they're not really that good together. So, yeah, Luka and Kyrie have proven that wrong. So I think they're gonna show the young OKC team how it's done in the playoffs.
Who do you think guards Luca?
Ooh,
Chet? Who guards Luca
shit,
in that
Shea.
matchup? Shay?
Shea might guard him a little bit. I don't know.
I'm just thinking because like I know most teams, a lot of teams have like their number one defender to throw at somebody, but Luca's a special case. So I'm like, what was the
That
last series
that's
like?
that's
In
the
the Clippers,
thing
like,
about our series, bro. Bruce Brown is gone, and Jeff Green is gone. Two of our defenders from last year on our role play, are two of our fucking best role players last year on our championship team. And we're still a good defensive team, but Jamal Murray is a little banged up and playing through an injury too, so that kind of sucks for us. So I think next year we need to focus on bringing in some defenders and getting Jamal Murray healthy and hopefully staying healthy throughout the season. And I think we'll get back to hopefully winning a championship. I think it's not over yet this season, but it's not looking good.
so sorry. Mavericks in 6.
Yeah, Mavs in
And
6.
Celtics in 4. Fuck them.
Celtics in 5.
Fuck the Cavs.
I think Cavs
They're
will squeak out a game.
they're gonna be like, what the hell? They can like they have such a good team. They can score. Donovan Mitchell can't keep up. What's going on? Because like he can keep up with our bitch ass team. Like we can't. Uh, watching us play is so frustrating. Like we lock down people,
Yep.
but we can't hit our shots at all. It's so fucking annoying.
So looks like we got Knicks and Celtics on the East and Mavs and Timberwolves on the West. So that'll be interesting to see if we're
I
right
would love
about
Mavs.
that.
I would love Mavs and Tims, the Timberwolves.
Tim's.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I would. That would be a decent series. That's underrated to think about. Knicks and Celtics. I don't know if I'd be excited for that. I'd have the Celtics in 5, but I could see the Knicks potentially winning in 6 or 7.
There's not a lot of East playoff matchups that I was very interested
Yeah,
in
yeah,
coming
man.
into
I just
anyway.
see the Celtics kind of blowing through it all.
Yeah. My bad if I sound bad to y'all. I'm kind of coming down from some sickness. I'm a little congested. Uh, Jamal Murray might get suspended. That's all I had left to talk about. That was pretty funny. I thought him throwing the heat pack was funny, but we can move on to UFC 301 results if you'd like to.
Yep.
You tuned into the main
301.
card, right?
Yes, I did.
Awesome. I actually did way better than I normally do on my predictions. I went 4 for 5. The only one I got wrong on the main card was the main event. And that's because Steve Erceg decided to shoot a takedown in round 5 and fuck it up, and then he was never gonna win a decision in Brazil, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Pantoja
would.
just has a hell of a chin.
I kind of thought Urseg won that fight, but yeah, you gotta beat the champ to be the champ, and that was a close fight, man. The judge who had it 46-49 is smoking dick. Like what the fuck? But 48-47 was appropriate. I'm not mad at the decision, but I went 3 for 5. I got Anthony Smith wrong, but I'm glad we were right about Aldo. Aldo dominated. He could come back, man. I think he said he's coming back, right?
I think well his contract is over, so he could. I heard rumor that he wanted to go box on the Jake Paul Tyson undercard, which would be weird.
Dude, he
Um,
he looked so good. He Jonathan
he's
Martinez is legit, and he fucking killed him. He looked like Aldo of old.
I think Jonathan Martinez was a little bit starstruck when he fought him. And also, I didn't like how Aldo wasn't using his kicks as much.
Oh
It's
yeah.
because he was boxing and stuff recently, but he's a really good kicker, like one of the best. So,
Oh yeah, I
I
love
didn't,
his leg kicks. They're nasty.
bro, he had like Jonathan Martinez is one of his best weapons is his inside leg kick, and Aldo had that the whole fight. Like he could have been hitting his own of that, and he did a few
He was
times, and they were
checking him
fine.
really well.
I don't know. Aldo needs to kick more if he's gonna go fight Sean O'Malley, because he wants to get a fast track to the title. He did mention that, and so I'm not sure what he'll do really. I don't think he'll retire because he already retired, so he's gonna either box or try to get a fast title shot. He was kind of accepting any matchup that came to him back before he retired. He probably will be picky now.
Yeah. Man, Anthony Smith, I was so wrong. He finished him so fast.
I don't know what Vitor was doing. That was a really bad shot. He got his neck wrapped up pretty fucking fast.
Pereira's was fucking hilarious. I love that one.
I'm happy for Anthony Smith. I kind of knew he was gonna win this, just because like this is the kind of asshole that they fed him back in 2021 when he went on this 3-fight win streak. Like he's a really good gatekeeper. Like he'll tell you who's real or not. But I like him and I love his podcast. He's never on it, unfortunately, but you know, 2 minutes in, guillotine choke for Anthony. Happy for him. Also, right before that, there was another guillotine choke. Michel Pereira fought Ihor Pateria or whatever, and then he knocked him down, but he did his classic little backflip over the guard, and which always hits the dude in the face with his knee, which is illegal as shit, and he always does it. And sometimes he gets in trouble, sometimes he doesn't. But it was in Brazil, so I was not surprised that nothing happened. And then they stood back up, and he choked him out with a guillotine choke. The guy tapped out, but it was too late. Excuse me, it was too late, and then he fell down, like looked like he died. Man, it was rough. It was a fast fall. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Man, Pereira middleweight. I like it. I don't know what his
It
stats
was
are though. I
fucking
thought he would be like
awesome, man.
small.
That was great.
I thought he would be smaller looking at middleweight. Apparently, he's number 13 at middleweight now, so that's cool.
Yep. And then the first fight, I don't know how to say the other guy's name, but I predicted him to win, and I was right. He knocked Paul Craig out.
Apparently that's Caio Bahayo. Bahayo. The first name is Caio,
Three
and
for
then it's
five. Woo!
Bahayo. Paul Craig needs to retire, man. I don't know what he's doing out there. He got fucked up on the feet. He didn't throw a single punch. Uh, he just got knocked the fuck out. It was really bad.
Yeah.
I got that one right though, so that's cool. Right before this fight, however, did you see the TKO by Doctor Stoppage because of the cut in the leg by chance? Did you see that,
I did not.
bro? Oh my god, it was nasty. There was a cut on this guy's leg, and the doctor fucking put his finger in it to see how deep it was, and it started
Ew.
bleeding more. And he was like, "Nope, nope, it's out, it's off because it's too deep, I guess." Also, that Elvis Brenner Mirtik Oralby, whatever. I remember I couldn't say his name last week. The one that I said would be a banger was a pretty good banger. Like pretty good striking and like overall well grappling. The dude Oralby can do pretty much everything except work off of his back, which is important. But it was kind of a dogfight. Like they both got pretty tired at the end, so it was fun. And oh yeah, this guy Mauricio Rufi in the prelims. He got performance of the night. He fucking that was awesome. He was like basically Brazilian Conor McGregor. He was styling on this dude. He was going in and out. He was just looking slick on the feet, but he also hit a scissor sweep takedown, which is just some high level jujitsu shit. And I was like, oh my god. But yeah, so I went 4 for 5 on the main card. That's pretty cool for me. I would normally suck.
3 for 5. I did all right.
Uh, what else is there? Oh yeah, and one guy actually, there was a canceled fight. He cut like 3 extra pounds. He was coming in for a 145-pound fight or 146-pound fight actually, because that's not championship weight. And he was like 143 with clothes on, so he was probably like 140. I don't know what he was doing. And they canceled the fight because he looked like he like death. But
Damn.
you just can't do that shit. Like people
Yeah.
were saying he might be poisoned or some shit because it happened in Brazil once.
Oh shit.
Um, yeah, like I don't know. I'd say I don't know what he was doing. And then I think he kept his clothes on to try to hide the fact that he was underweight. Really sad for that guy. I hope he might have had the wrong weight class or something, but he had fought at 145 twice in the UFC, so rip to that guy.
Yeah, man.
Uh, and then after that, the same day, Canelo Alvarez fought that guy Jamie Munguia. I'm not gonna pretend I know that guy. I'm not a boxer head, but he was undefeated Mexican, and Canelo knocked him down for the first time in his career, and then beat him.
Beat the
And
shit out
now
of him. Yeah.
Canelo's brutal, man. I don't. How old is he?
Shit, man. I don't know. I
I'm
remember.
looking it up.
I remember I started watching him. He was like, dude, I don't even remember. He was like 23
He's
or
only
some shit when he fought Floyd.
he's only 33.
Damn, that's not bad. He got a couple years left in him.
Yeah, and the big thing they're saying is they're trying to have him fight Crawford, Terrence
Man,
Crawford.
I heard him and Benavidez are talking shit to one another too at that fight though. That just happened.
I heard that Crawford
That
and
would be a more
Spence.
interesting fight to me. Him and Benavidez, even though Bivol
Who?
beat the shit out of him, kinda.
Canelo and Benavidez. Who's Benavidez? I'm just who is that?
It's the guy in Bivol's weight class, the guy who beat Canelo at that weight class, that heavier weight class, and
Some big ass dude was talking shit to
he's the
Canelo.
other. It's the guy who beat Caleb Plant, who's not not Canelo right after Canelo, I think.
Oh
Who
well,
beat Caleb Plant not too long ago, and he beat Canelo, or he didn't beat Canelo, but he's the champion of the weight class of the guy who beat Canelo. He's the other champion that's not Bivol.
um, I heard that Spence and Crawford had to have like a rematch clause.
Yep.
So like,
Hopefully
how's that gonna go
Spence.
down?
I hope Spence wins, but I don't see Spence winning, man.
That was a rough beating the first time, man.
Yeah, I see Crawford winning again, but I like Spence. I'm a fan of his, so I want to see him win.
And Ryan Garcia popped for Osterine or whatever. Same
Now,
thing Sean O'Malley popped for a long time ago.
now he's like, hey, I didn't do it. It's bullshit or whatever. And then
I
now
mean,
Tank and Haney are fucking fighting over it or whatever in the DMs. And you're like, Tank is like, I'm gonna beat your ass, and then blah blah blah. It's bullshit. It's weird. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Lightweight is weird in boxing.
Tank is weird.
Yeah, they're all weird. Loma's the only one that's good, and fucking his decision against Haney was bullshit, and he should have won that.
Dude, that was a bad fight, in my opinion. Like they both didn't really do much. Like Haney, I knew Haney was gonna win
And
because
I
he was
still
landing
had
body
it
shots.
7-5 Loma.
I just knew during that fight that Haney was gonna win because of his activity with the body shots. Felt like those were landing more than anything else, and the fight was landing.
Man,
Uh,
that was
but
some bullshit. Anyways,
rip, rip Ryan Garcia. Hopefully, I heard he's submitting a second sample of whatever to like try and clear his name. So we'll see what happens there. Uh, Also, Oscar De La Hoya was talking shit to Canelo in the pre-fight presser because
that's
he's a weirdo.
that's crazy.
But let's hop right into the some NFL real quick. Um, we have redone our power rankings as of after the draft. That was the first episode we ever did was our original power rankings, but now it's the playoffs are over, free agency's over, and the draft is over. So we're gonna start at the bottom with the worst team, and then we're going to work our way back up to the best team. I'm sure you guys can predict some of these, but some of them based off like just like a few certain things we agree on. But I'm gonna hop right into it with the first one. At the worst team at number 32 in the league, we have the Patriots.
Yep.
I'm just not a big fan of the rest of their offense besides Drake May.
I mean, to be fair, I'm a fan of McMillan, or not Mc. Not McMillan. It was Worthy. Not Worthy. What the fuck? Why am I getting these receivers' names mixed up? What the fuck? Jalen Polk. How do I forget Jalen Polk?
Yeah, I was about to. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I feel good about him. Him and Drake May could work together, and then of course they still got Ramondre Stevenson, don't they?
Uh, yeah, but I mean, he's okay for like 4 yards, but he's not like a powerful guy or anything. I like him in the passing game a little more than
I think they,
just straight up running
I,
back.
I think they have decent pieces to build on. But yeah, they're the worst, honestly.
He'll be all right. I mean, like they got KJ Osborne and Jalen Polk and Tyquan Thornton. So I mean he could look good with them like with Stroud, but I just think with the next team that was at the bottom, the Panthers at number 31. I like their weapons now. I like that they have Jonathan Brooks, the running back, along with Chuba Hubbard,
Yep, I
and
like
get rid
Jonathan
of Miles
Brooks as
Sanders.
well.
Just get rid of Miles Sanders. You don't even need him.
Yeah, fuck that.
And then Deontay Johnson, I think he's underrated. Um, and Xavier Legette. I like his yak. Like when you watch him play, he's got
Yep,
some good
I like
stride.
Leggett too. He's fun to watch.
I'm a fan of it. And they upgraded their O
I think
line.
he'll pan out.
Yeah, they lost some players on defense, but I think their offense will look better, and that's just better for their young quarterback than what May has. So, uh, moving on from the Panthers to number 30. I mean, I haven't even numbered these.
The
I'm
Giants.
yeah, the Giants, the G-Men.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm not too high on them. They don't look they don't look good, man.
they don't. Daniel Jones is not gonna throw to Malik Neighbors very much because he can't hit past like a 5 yard
Yeah,
throw. He's annoying to
I
watch.
just don't trust Daniel Jones and their
They
defense.
lost Saquon.
They're just gonna be the fucking same, dude. They're just gonna be fucking horrible again because Daniel Jones sucks, and he can't use their receivers or any of their weapons right, and their fucking
Yeah,
their O line is just okay at best, honestly, and then their fucking defense is honestly getting better, but that's not just gonna fucking help them become amazing. They need to get rid of Daniel Jones.
yeah. I mean, that's gonna hold you back at the end of the day. And the more players you start to lose, like Saquon and Dexter Lawrence is gonna leave someday, I'm sure. You know, eventually he'll ask for a trade or something. Thibodeau, he's coming up on what, year three? Year four? I don't know. Uh,
Year 3.
year three, yeah. But I mean their defense is great. For what though? Like the team needs to score like 2 touchdowns on you and you're gonna lose the game anyway.
Yeah, they aren't gonna
So
do no Eli Manning 9-7 bullshit with fucking great defense and a mid offense.
yeah. And I like Dable, but obviously it wasn't enough last year. Daniel Jones getting hurt, I don't even think mattered because Tommy DeVito was winning you games a few times, and I don't know. I don't trust that situation. But moving on to number 29, the Broncos. We didn't forget the Broncos this time. Remember we forgot them last time?
Yep, we didn't forget them this time, and they're at 29 because they don't really know what they're doing with quarterback. They have Zach Wilson and Zach Wilson Jr. Um,
Bo Nix is Zach Wilson Jr.
yep, they look alike, so they it's funny. They their their weapons on offense don't really impress me that much, honestly. Um, their defense is all right, in secondary mostly, but their defense is all right. But I don't see them taking a big leap, especially in their division and their conference, man. Like, no, they're not going to be a good team, especially with them not even knowing what they're going to do at quarterback.
They're a little higher than like the Giants and the Panthers for me because I'm higher on Bo Nix than most people are. Also, Peyton with like I like the offense, like Cortland Sutton and who's the guy they just got? His name is uh the receiver, Troy Nelson.
I think I forgot his
Troy
name.
Franklin. Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin.
Franklin. Oh yeah, from Morgan. Yeah, I remember now.
Good job. You said it after I did. I love you, brother. Who else they got? They don't really have a running back. Javante Williams is coming back, but he came back last year. He didn't look very good.
He's all right, man. He's nothing special.
I'm not. I mean, I don't hate the guy, but I don't think he'll
Yeah, I
be
don't
as good
hate
as
him
he was
either,
before
but
he got hurt.
yeah.
I don't know. Just Sean Payton and Bo Nix. I like the idea, so they're a little higher than the Giants for us. But up next is the Titans at number 28.
I,
Excuse me again.
I personally like
I'm
what they're doing, getting away with Derrick Henry and moving on to Spears and everything. I'm not a fan of Will Levis though, and I'm not
I
too
mean,
big of a fan of their receiving core.
they're D Hop, um, Calvin Ridley, and they just got Tyler Boyd. Did you see that post I sent you today?
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Apparently they have Tyler Boyd. I didn't even know that.
I think that's a
Uh,
very boomer bust receiving core right there, especially
bro,
with Will
Traylon
Levis
Burks.
as your fucking
The
Jalen
fuck happened to
Burks.
Traylon?
Oh, big bust. It's crazy.
Right, but damn. Fuck him. It was like a year or 2 years or what was it? Like 1 year of him playing or two? I don't know,
It was
but
two, I think.
oh yeah, it was two because they got Skaronski last year.
Yep.
But I like it. I don't know. The Calvin Ridley, he's a shifty like
He could work
route
out
runner.
there.
Like for
Yeah, I
every
don't know.
situation, you have a good receiver for that. Except Traylon. I don't know. You're not gonna do anything with Traylon, but and they also have Pollard, and they just got that guy Sweat, and they got Latham. I'm high on Latham. I like him. I think he'll be like the second, probably the second best tackle of the draft. I think, which is where he was picked. But you know, I think he looks a lot more athletic than Joe Alt. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Number 27 to the Washington Commanders. Woo! I'm
Yeah,
high on them a little bit. I like Daniels more than you do.
I'm high on them too. Honestly, I like Daniels too, but still, I'm high on them. Really, I think they could be higher. Honestly, when it's all said and done, like near the end of the season when the power rankings happen, like I feel like they're gonna be up higher. They're a boomer bust kind of prospect of a team. They got some pieces on defense, on offense. Just got pieces all around, and they switched the ownership around and the coaches and everything. They're looking good. It looks really good, and what they did looks like this jump started the rebuild, especially with having a good free agency and everything too. So, man, they could be a really good team.
Uh, I think I think a lot of people sleep on Terry McLaurin, and I think with a guy like Jaden Daniels who threw to Neighbors and he threw to Brian Thomas, he's used to throwing to NFL caliber receivers and it actually working. So I'm excited for that. And then if they have Eckler back there, it's a good pass catching option for him out the backfield. You know, they don't really have a great tight end or anything, but I like their receivers. They got Curtis Samuel, Jahan Dotson, or no, Curtis Samuel's a Bill. They got Jahan Dotson though and McLaurin, and they got Luke McCaffrey in the draft. Yeah, I like it, but they're still lower for me because their defense isn't going to be as good as it was last year or 2 years ago. Like their defense has fallen, and they're also a lot of rookies and just like older players. So it's new. The team looks new, so they still have something to prove to me.
Oh yeah, and then number 26, we have the Bears. I think another boomer bust kind of team. Honestly, honestly, both these teams are rebuilding, so I couldn't really say boomer bust kind of team. It's more of a boomer bust kind of season for them, honestly, because I could see them doing shit or I could see them doing good. But either way, if they do shit or good, they have something to build upon. So these teams are rebuilding, but I think they're boomer bust throughout the season. The Bears, they just got Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze. They just bolstered up their offensive line a little bit. They've got some help on defense. They had a decent free agency. They had a good draft. Um, so yeah, the Bears could totally move up from this spot as well, but we had to put them down there, just like Washington, just because you never know.
Uh, the Bears, I don't know. They didn't do. They were not super consistent at much, except like rushing with,
Oh
you know,
yeah, and they have the same
team out
coaches
shit.
too, so that's not promising.
Yeah, but like, I don't think they'll make the playoffs. A lot of people do, but I think their
I don't
division's just
either.
gonna be too tough.
That division does look really tough, yeah.
I think it'll still be Lions and Packers that make the playoffs from that division. Uh, But I like their offense. Their defense is still as it was last year, pretty much. I don't know too many players that they signed or anything. Who did the Bears get? Anybody on defense? Really, I don't. I'm struggling to think.
The
They got
Bear,
Tremaine Edmonds like 2 years ago.
yeah, I think they drafted some guys.
Maybe, but we'll see how that defense looks after a year of them figuring out that personnel. And then number 25, the Saints. Uh, they still have Derek Carr, so that bumps them down. But they're getting the O line pretty well, and they got Kool Aid in the draft, and they kept most of their players. Like Tyron Matthews still there, Cameron Jordan is still there.
And their defense was
Uh,
good last year. Cameron Jordan's getting old though.
yeah, I don't know how long he'll be good for.
They need a tackle. They need a draft or sign like
They have
someone
Chase Young.
on that D line.
Chase Young is there.
They do have Chase Young, but I don't think he's good enough to replace someone the caliber of Cameron Jordan, man. Like he's a good
Yeah,
piece. He's a good depth piece, and he might even be a good starting piece. But he's no Cameron Jordan, you know.
uh, yeah, I think he'll look better. I don't know. I feel like him on the Niners was always a bit weird to me. Maybe with the Saints, he'll be like, "Oh shit, this is my last shot."
Maybe.
I don't know. But oh, I got another ESPN notification that Rasheed Rice is a suspect in alleged assault that injured a man in a nightclub. Yeah,
Damn. Okay, chief receivers. What the fuck's going on?
Xavier Worthy is gonna be a nightmare. But yeah, Saints. I like that they got that good O lineman in there in the first round. Fuck it.
Yeah,
But
that too.
and the Seahawks, not much change. They got Byron Murphy, and
I like their draft
yeah,
again,
yeah, they have they always have a
but
good
with
one.
having Geno as your quarterback, um, not that Geno's a bad quarterback, but it's kind of holding you back because you have all that firepower in your receiving core, and you have just that running back too. Just everywhere on your offense, you're good, and then at quarterback, you're just kind of like like decent, man. Like you need a good quarterback, man. But I like their coach and their scheme and everything, what they're doing with their defense. They could potentially be a higher team too. I like what they're doing and I like what they're building, but yeah, they're kind of low.
That's where I would have liked Kirk Cousins to go, to be honest.
Yeah, I felt like that
Uh,
would have been a good fit for Kirk as well.
Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert wins Defensive Player of the Year. Darn, Rip Wemby.
Damn, that sucks.
Uh, but next up after the Seahawks, sorry, number 23, the Falcons. They got Michael Penix, and then didn't really do much else besides get Kirk as well.
Yeah, their draft sucked ass. They got Kirk Cousins, so they're gonna be better. They might even make the playoffs and win their division, but I don't know. That's a weak division. They might get better as a team and without Arthur Smith, and they might scheme a lot better, you know. So they might fully potentialize Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts and Drake London and
Centralized.
everything, dude. Like, yeah, I mean, I just made a word up there, but still, you know what I mean. Like Falcons could be something, man. They could be good, and
Keep in mind,
their defense is pretty decent.
keep in
And
mind, they had zero interest in Lamar Jackson. Remember
yeah,
that?
that's really weird, but either way, I think they have a shot at the playoffs next year. But I
Yeah,
do
I just
agree.
it sucks for them for choking the draft, and it's just like they haven't had that much success, so they stick around for what they did and how much they didn't do. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Number 23, and then right above them, number 22, the location where they sent Desmond Ritter to the Arizona Cardinals.
Yep, Kyler Murray. He's back. Obviously, came back off an injury last year, but he's back fully for his full season. Hopefully, he stays healthy. Marvin Harrison Jr. They drafted him. They had
Darius
a
Robinson.
Yep, they had a good draft overall, man. They had a good draft. They had a good free agency. They they look like they're building something, man. They're good. They didn't give up on Kyler. I actually like that. Um, I think they'll be better than people think they will be this season. I feel like people think they're going to be bottom feeders. I think they're going to be better, especially with Kyler and Kyler finally having a potential number one wide receiver, potential generational type wide receiver. Like,
I think you can make
that
better
could
than D Hop.
that could be, yeah, like that could be crazy. Especially with him being younger too, and Kyler being a younger guy too, them being able to grow together, that could be good. You know,
Yeah, I'm worried
they could
about
be
it.
a good team.
I'm frightened, to be honest, man. I don't
Yeah,
like
I
that. I
like what
think
the
we're gonna get
Cardinals are
cooked.
doing for once in their fucking life.
I think their defense is still gonna hold them back a little bit, but their offense is gonna take major leaps. And if Kyler stays healthy, oh boy. Uh, anyway, going to number 21, we have the LA Chargers. They lost a lot of personnel, and they didn't do well last year, but they got a hell of a coach. They got Justin Herbert. They got new players, and they got a new coaching scheme and everything. And they're gonna have like really boring games of running the ball, but I think they're gonna win. Like they're gonna be around 500. They're gonna look better than they did last year.
I like their defensive scheme. I think they'll be over 500. I think they're gonna make. I think they're gonna be. I kind of hesitantly agreed to put them at 21. I think they're gonna be one of those teams that's gonna be better. I think you're gonna see. I think the Chargers are gonna be good. I don't think they're gonna win their division or anything. I think the Chiefs still have that on lock, but I think they could come out at number two in their division, and I think that offense is gonna work out, man. I really do. And that defense, Jesse Minter, oh yeah, I think that's gonna work.
Well, at number 20, we just had their division rivals right above them at number the Raiders, just
Yep,
because
they're
they have a
building.
better weapon room. Yeah, seem to be in a better spot roster wise right now. In my opinion, I think they'll get second in the division and be sniffing at the playoffs.
I think they'll get
But
third.
that depends on coaching and Gardner Minshew. We saw him do it last year and almost get the Colts to the playoffs, but also, he Anthony Richardson went down halfway through the year, and they had a better coach.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'm high on the Bowers pick, and I don't know who their running back is. I think his name is Zamir White or some shit. But obviously, if they haven't made any moves, they're confident in Zamir White. So fuck it.
Yep.
Uh,
Their offense is kind of. I don't know, man. I mean, Brock Bowers is a good addition. Jackson Powers, their line and their tight ends, good. And they have some. They even have some decent wide receivers. They look nice too. I don't know about their running back. That could even be good, but they don't. I mean, Gardner Minshew's a good quarterback. He's decent, but he's nothing special. He's just kind of a game manager. So that offense is going to be kind of mid, but that defense is looking good. It was good last year when they changed Antonio Pierce. Man, they're building that defense up to be better too. That's going to be good for them. I think the Raiders are going to be building, but I think this year their offense is going to be kind of stagnant, which is why I think they'll be worse than the Chargers in the long run. But with their roster, I've got to put them just one above them, yeah.
and then at 19, we have the Jets. They upgraded their offense. They didn't have to upgrade their defense really. Um, but if Rodgers can stay healthy, this and I don't know if everyone can stay healthy, if the defense stays as dominant as it has been, I
Yeah,
think they'll be like this is where we're slipping into contenders for the playoffs right here.
yeah, I think they could
Like
be contenders. Like they might be seem a little low on our list. Honestly, they might be a little low, but they might be contenders. Honestly, I like their receiving core for what they have for Aaron Rodgers now and everything, and I like the running back room. I like what they got, especially with Braylon Allen coming in now. I like that. That's a good 1-2 combo. I
I
think.
think I'm telling you, he's gonna have competition with
Yeah,
that
that
other dude they
defense.
drafted.
Whew. Oh yeah, they will, but still, it'll be fucking man. I think the Jets will pan out, man. If they stay healthy, like you said, they'll pan out and they'll be contenders.
And we got one team a little bit higher up here. I noticed that we're gonna have to defend here in a little bit, but right above the Jets is the Jags. just a little bit of a younger quarterback and team overall. They were a playoff team just 2 years ago when Trevor was 100%, and now he's got like what I think is the best receiver he's had since he started playing in the NFL, Brian Thomas. Like Christian Kirk is cool, but like he's not wide receiver one built. You know what I'm saying? He can't go
Yeah,
win
if
those contested catches.
if Thomas pans out, that could be good for them. Yeah,
Yeah, I like that pick a lot for them,
I
and
like their defense too.
their defense is good. They need some help at cornerback, but I don't know what they're going to do there. But I'm high on Trevor Lawrence with Brian Thomas. That's for sure. That's mostly why they're up here, and their defensive line.
Yep.
But right after them, we have their division rival, the Colts. I just think with Adonai Mitchell, Josh Downs, Michael Pittman Jr., Jonathan Taylor, Anthony Richardson, and that O line, that offense is going to be, man. If Anthony Richardson stays healthy, that offense could be like one of the best in the league, man.
Yeah,
And it's just like I don't know.
that
It's
offense looks
unfortunate.
good. Like it's definitely a injury prone looking offense, but if they stay healthy, I like what they got going, and I like the coaching and everything. The defense is getting better, but the
Latu,
offense, the defense is getting better. The offense is their offensive line has always been good. They're nice there. Um, Running back obviously got JT. That's good. I've always thought they've had an underrated wide receiver core, but now with Mitchell coming in, that's even better. Um, yeah, man, the Colts could be a sneaky dark horse good team. I don't know if they're sneaky like contender type team, like that dark horse of a team, but they could be sneaky, man. They could be like 11-win team sneaking into the playoffs.
I think if the Texans don't work out, the Colts are going to win the division.
That could happen, but I think it might be the Jags over them, but you never know. The Colts could be a
I think that's going to be a tough
sneaky good
division.
team. Yeah, that'll be a tough division to win.
Right after at 16 above the Colts, we got the Bucks. They re-signed all their guys,
Yep, didn't
and
really change much.
and this is just a confident. It was a pretty solid playoff team right there last year.
This is the
So I
team
mean, they
that got
maintained their
Jalen
spot.
McMillan.
They got who? Oh, McMillan,
Yep.
the other Washington guy.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I mean they got some guys. They got Evans, they got Godwin, they got Trey Palmer last year, who they really liked, and now they got McMillan. They got the O line. They had to replace Jensen. So yeah, man, I
Yep.
like what they got going on. It's kind of like they're holding on to their older players a bit long, but it still worked for them last year. Baker worked out. The Baker's the big thing. Like if he doesn't play super great next year, then yeah, it's gonna blow up in
Think
their face.
think they'll have a similar season. Think they'll have like a 9-8 type of season.
And now we got one that's a bit controversial, I'd say. And above all those teams, number 15, we got the Vikings. Uh, they were a playoff team a year ago,
Yep.
with Kirk and who they've got now.
Their
I don't even
defense
think they had Addison.
their defense looked a little shaky the last 2 years. They looked like ass, honestly. But I think they're getting better. Like their defense was getting old as fuck. They had old pieces and stuff. They're getting a little younger, drafting new guys, getting signing new guys. Dallas Turner's a good addition. But yeah, I like what the Vikings are doing. They got some offensive line in the draft. I like that. Obviously, they have a crazy good wide receiver core, and they have Aaron Jones. Um,
Yeah, it's better than
JJ
Alexander Madison.
McCarthy, if he pans out, I think this is a perfect team for him. 15, they could be even higher, man. They could. I know the NFC North is competitive, but they could win that division, honestly.
Yeah, with the Vikings, it's weird.
It's
Like
hit or miss,
their
man.
running
They
back,
could win that division. You never know.
it's better than last year at running back, but the year before that was Dalvin Cook, who was still good, but like they didn't have Addison when they made the playoffs before, but now it's JJ instead of Kirk, so there's a lot of question with this team. That's why they're like smack down in the middle. But I like what they got going on. I think they improved on offense
And
and on
defense.
defense. Yeah, their defensive line's way better. So, or maybe I don't know. Hunter depends on how Hunter looks next year to say that. But right above the Vikings, we got the Browns, who also made the playoffs and had like coach of the year, comeback player of the year, and defensive player of the year. So
Yep.
respect them in the league, you know.
Yep. But the quarterback is Deshaun Watson, which is holding them back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, the Browns they're just gonna be they're gonna be good enough. I don't even know if they're gonna make the playoffs, but they're gonna be above 500.
I
They
maintain
have,
that
they
this is
have
the
a good
team that
enough
should have.
roster. They have a monster defense. I'll give them that. And their offense, honestly, is good enough. But Deshaun Watson's holding them back, man.
I'll keep saying this is the team that should have drafted Joe Milton. Like Stefanski and Deshaun's gonna go down at some point. They didn't re-sign Flacco. Who's their backup quarterback? Let's go. I'm gonna go find out.
Thomas Robinson, is that still him?
Dorian Thompson Robinson, maybe, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
they had Josh Dobbs at one point, which is like
I remember that too.
they hate to have a.
Decent
Is
quarterback
that
room.
Tyler Huntley?
They
That's
hate
Tyler Huntley is there,
they hate having quarterbacks. Oh God. I
bro.
mean
We're
Tyler
stupid.
Hunt.
They got Jameis.
I mean,
Jameis.
yeah, but still, could he take you on a run like Flacco?
How much of a coach do you value Stefanski? Because Sean Payton made Jameis look really good for a year.
That's fair. Or for like 4 games till he got hurt, but yeah.
Better O line here in Cleveland than New Orleans, I'd say.
Yep, I agree.
I
But
don't know. I would love it if Deshaun got hurt and it was just Jameis. Like I don't care to wish harm upon Deshaun. He's not a good person.
you got number 13, the Bills. Um, they
No.
yeah,
Where'd you put Cowboys?
12, right above them.
Oh, I had them mixed up.
I
Okay.
thought I
We can
thought
do that. That makes more sense.
I thought we agreed on that. Wow, that's
I must
crazy.
have fucked up.
Damn, guys, look at what we
Go
did.
ahead.
But either
Go ahead.
way,
My bad.
at number 13, we got the Bills. Um, I think just they downgraded, man. Like, I know they got Keon Coleman and James Cook is gonna get better, I believe, and I think it might be a better fit for their offense, honestly, to get rid of Diggs. But still, man, like, I think they downgraded. They didn't really tackle like they didn't they didn't tackle. I mean, they tackled. They had a decent draft, but it was just all right at best. Honestly, they didn't tackle too much stuff in free agency. I don't like what they did, man. They kind of downgraded as a team. Like the
You got
Dolphins,
Keon Coleman.
If the Dolphins don't win that division again, that's gonna be insane.
Well, the Dolphins kind of like stole it. They no, they gave it up at the end of the year last year.
Yeah,
But the Bills got Keon Coleman. That's whatever. But I think it's I don't know. I must have misheard you earlier. It was unlucky number 13, I guess. We were bound to fuck up. But yeah, I think their overall roster isn't as good as number 12 with the Cowboys. You guys had people leave and stuff. Or you didn't really have anybody leave, but you didn't get anybody new.
yeah.
I mean, but the
Got
Bills
Eric
did have people
Kendricks. That's
leave.
about it.
The Bills did have people leave, so it is smarter to have them over the Bills here. Your offense is still good and stuff. I like Connor Beebe. That's a good or Cooper
Yeah,
Beebe.
I think our offensive line is gonna work out. I think that's gonna work out. But we didn't tackle receiver or running back. I'm worried about that. I mean,
Or running back, yeah.
Kendricks is gonna be good for the moment, but we need a linebacker for the future.
The Raiders are weird, man. So they got Jacoby Myers, Hunter Renfro, Devontae Adams, uh, Michael Mayer. Uh, fucking who do they just pick again?
Brock Bowers
Is
and
it
Jackson Powers
Bowers?
Johnson.
Brad Bowers was just, like out of my mind, and Gallup. Like I don't know. That's weird. They got like four receivers, two tight ends. They got a lot. Can they get a damn quarterback? But sorry. Uh, where were we on the Cowboys?
Yep. Now we're at the Steelers.
Yeah. I need to get my numbers back up here. Jesus Christ. Yeah. So number 11 at the Steelers. You know their quarterback room is weird. I like the idea that Fields comes in and he's a superstar, but it's not. It sounds like they're just gonna put him in kick return, which is really weird.
Yeah, they're gonna have Russ run that offense. At least for now, they're gonna have probably Justin Fields learn and hopefully start after Russ. I feel like they're gonna utilize him um, later for later, but
They did.
I think they'll be good for with Russ. That'll be a good stand-in. George Pickens, they don't have Deontay Johnson anymore, but Pickens is good.
They got Van Jefferson and
Yep,
Roman Wilson.
yep. Roman
Uh,
Wilson's interesting prospect, so that'll be good for them. Um,
I like that
I
because
like their
they
I like
draft
their running
receiver.
back Jalen Warren. I think his name is.
Yeah, and they
Yep,
didn't
I
pick up
like
Najee
him.
Harris's fifth year.
And their defense is good. I wouldn't have picked up his fifth year either. But yeah,
I mean, I
Steelers
don't know. They use
defense is good.
Deontay weird, or
But
they use Najee weird.
so yeah, the Steelers should be in contention for their division, but I don't think they'll win it. But they should definitely be a playoff contender.
uh, yeah, I think their quarterback room is still gonna hold them back.
I don't know. I think it'll elevate them past what fucking you could with Mason Rudolph
They have
and
Arthur Smith, brother. They have Arthur Smith.
I don't care. They had fucking Mason Rudolph and what the fucking Kenny Pickett, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields is better than that. They'll be better.
Okay, but Sean Payton is a better offensive coach than Mike Tomlin. So I don't know.
They'll be fine.
Go Justin. But at number 10, the Packers. They didn't really get anything new at receiver, but they did get Josh Jacobs, who I think is a decent running back for them. He's only like 25 or some shit.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
Josh Jacobs is when he's healthy and playing, he's a fucking great running back. So they got a great running back there. I think they improved in their draft a lot on defense. Um, they filled out a lot of defensive spots in their draft. They had a good draft, man. So I think,
Edgerrin Cooper.
yep. And they
Right?
also they fucking signed dudes too. They I think they're gonna be good, man. I think they might be a little high. They might be a little lower during the season because I'm not too high on their receiving core, to be honest. But you never know. A lot of people are high on them and think they could all like pan out, like especially like Warren and like not Warren. Is that Jaden? I forgot his name.
Reed.
Jaden Reed. Forgot his name. Sorry, Jaden. Jaden Reed and Wicks. People think they're gonna pan out, and maybe even Watson, but I don't know. They were kind of all inconsistent, and I'm not really too high on any of them.
and Dobbs.
Yeah,
And Romeo
Dobbs.
Dobbs.
Yeah, Dobbs too. I'm not high on any of them. Dobbs is the most
I like
inconsistent of them.
I like Musgrave, their tight end. He
I
was
like
good
him
last
too.
year, but then he started dropping balls a little bit, and so like hopefully he can develop.
They have a decent offensive line, and so
They
they're
replaced John Runyon
yeah.
with Jordan Morgan.
If their defense pans out and gets better like it's supposed to, and like it looks like it will, then they'll be good. And if their receiving core is better than I think it'll be, and they don't just have offensive line, Jordan Love and running backs, then they'll be decent, man. They'll be good. They'll be in contention for their division for sure.
Go Jordan. Woo! Uh, at number 9, we got the Bengals.
Yep.
Uh,
Bounce
if Joe
back.
Burrow can keep himself from fucking falling apart, then they might be good, you know?
Yeah, if they could stay healthy, then they're looking to probably bounce back and be looking to try and win their division again from the Ravens
They got a third receiver in
and
the
go on
draft that I'm
another
hearing a lot of hype about.
Super Bowl run.
Who did they draft? I gotta look at the Bengals draft board real quick because they got a receiver who people are high on, and I'm not sure. I don't know much about him.
Man,
Also, go ahead.
I just think that the Bengals, man, are, you know, like I think their defense, even though they lost a couple of pieces, I think they gained some pieces too. And I think they'll fit well. I think their defense is good.
The
It'll be
Bengals got
better than what it was last year, and their offense will bounce back. I think it'll be good again. I think Jamar Chase had a bad season. T Higgins had a great season last year, but I think Jamar Chase had a bad one. I think Jamar Chase will bounce back completely. I think Joe Burrow will bounce back. And then without Joe Mixon and getting fresh new running back, man, I think the Bengals are gonna look good.
uh,
They're gonna be contenders for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if they made the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship again.
they got Amarius Mims in the draft, and they got Trent Brown in
Yep,
free
I
agency,
really
so
like that.
they have at least three tackles.
I like how they tackled offensive line as well. Yep, I really like that.
But in the draft, they also got well, in round two they got Chris Jenkins, who's a Michigan guy,
Yep,
and
I like that. That's a
for round
great pick
three,
for defense.
they got Jermaine Burton from Alabama, wide receiver. I've heard a lot about him.
Oh yeah,
They're
he's
expecting
good.
him. Yeah, they got D tackles a lot, I guess, because the Reader left.
Yep, that's why. So that's what I mean. I think they replaced him well enough. I think their defense is going to be good, if not better, and their offense is looking like it could be good, if not better, and have a bounce back year. Like I think they should be contenders, Super Bowl contenders.
Let's get into some real Super Bowl contenders here
Yep,
at
this
number 8.
this might seem high for a lot of people, but we have his favorite team, the Rams.
Yeah, because
But I
I like
think,
how our. Go ahead, sorry.
dude, I think they're just like good. Like Stafford, he still has some left in the tank. He showed last year. He could have a better season than he did last year too, honestly, because he could have a full season. And then you got Cooper Cup and Puka Nakua together for a full season potentially. That could be nuts. Higbee's injured, but you got some promising prospects at tight end. The line's fleshing out. You got Blake Corum looks really good. Honestly, to
Yeah,
back up Kyron Williams, that looks like a good running back team right there. Y'all are fleshing
we
out the offense, and then the defense is getting better. So, like especially that line getting Jared Verse, I really like that pick. I like all the picks you guys took, and I like your free agency and everything. And I think y'all are gonna build, and I think y'all are gonna have a healthy year with Stafford and Cup. So I think y'all are gonna have a good year. It's gonna be a bounce back year. Y'all are gonna be a playoff team. Y'all are gonna be a dark horse Super Bowl contender probably.
yeah, I'm really loving the dynamic of our team right now because for a while it was just Stafford, Cup, Ramsey, Donald. Now Ramsey and Donald are gone. We didn't really find the quarterback replacement, but by damn sure we're trying to replace Donald. There's also a rumor that he could still come back for a playoff run, like Weddle did, if he felt like it. But I like how our team looks now. We don't really have a glaring weakness anymore, except like tight end and linebacker, I guess, if you wanted to be picky. But we got like
You
we
got
got another we
depth.
also got another receiver. I like let me find him. His name is Jordan Whittington. He's from Texas, so he was like the third. He must have been the third receiver at Texas because it was with Worthy and Mitchell.
Mitchell.
But yeah, we got him, and I actually like how he looks. He's jacked, so like he's gonna love, or we're gonna love him in the blocking game. I think he's gonna block, and he looks like he's. I don't know. He just looks good. I'm excited. It's Jordan Whittington, sixth round pick. Puka was a fifth rounder, so sure, never know. Uh, and then we got a kicker. We needed that. Uh, we got D line depth. We got Braden Fisk, right? Yeah, Braden Fisk, which is
Yep.
interesting, but uh, yeah, we got a little bit of everything. Our linebackers, Ernest Jones, I love him. He's probably going to leave next year, so I don't know what our plan's going to be after that and who else we're going to put next to him. So yeah, linebacker and tight end is all I'm worried about. But with Stafford, man, his first year with us, he made a playoff push. His O line was a bit better then, but it's upgraded now as well. And I mean, I just like it. I like how rookie impact is going to look. I think Braden Fisk and Jared Versa as a rookie duo on defense is going to be way more dangerous than people are expecting.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. That's why we have them so high. At number 7, we have the Dolphins.
They're doing the whole thing I thought the Bills were gonna do, because when the Bills got Von Miller, I thought they were gonna go and get Odell, but apparently they want Ramsey and Odell to try and have the Miami Rams or some shit. I don't know.
They're stacking up on defense too. They got better at defense. They got Chop Robinson in the draft. I like what they're doing on defense. On offense too, they just signed OBJ. That's gonna be good because if you can't cover Waddle or you can't cover Tyreek, then who are you gonna cover OBJ? Like that's gonna be good. They got good fast running backs too, and they just drafted another fast running back, dude. Oh my god, the Dolphins look very explosive, and if they boom, they could be really good. But it's all dependent on Tua.
Wild prediction. I think Tua is gone next year.
Really?
I don't think he's a Dolphin. I don't think because they didn't. I think they picked up his 5th year option, but I don't. They're not paying him yet.
That's
I don't think
that's
if
fair.
next year prove it deal. It's a prove it deal. I think, but
That's fair. He needs to
uh,
be better.
my prediction is that like one of these quarterbacks that isn't fitting in their team, like Tua or Trevor Lawrence, maybe like they're gonna be the guy that the Jets go grab after Rodgers is gone. 'Cause I don't think they're gonna draft a guy. I think they're gonna go get a guy that's already established and is younger or something like Trevor. Because I don't know how Trevor's. There's no telling that he's gonna stay in Jacksonville or that they're gonna extend him. He's not totally been. He's not been all that. Not been a Joe Burrow, unfortunately. So it's just
That's true.
I don't know. But we're talking about the Dolphins. uh, yeah, Tua. I don't know if he'll be there next year.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they better replace him well.
I don't know. But at number 6, we have the Texans, which we both think are going to take a big leap, and they should stay around here and potentially maybe even make it into the top 3, depending on how the Diggs trade works out and everything, and how they improved, especially in free agency, and they had a good draft too. They look like they improved everywhere in the off season, and they look like it's only up from here too. Like it really looks like it's only up from here for CJ Stroud and the Texans. They look like they're
I
gonna
will
be
say,
nasty, and if they boom, they could potentially be Super Bowl contenders. They might make it. They might make the AFC Championship game.
I respect them and what they did last year and their roster, how good it looked last year. But I will say one thing. With them being so high, that they do have great potential, but also like a lot of their big moves are kind of risky. Like Danielle Hunter, he's turning 30. Uh he could miss a step sometime soon. Stephon Diggs did not look great last year, and they just traded a 2nd round pick for him to be their like third weapon or whatever. And Joe Mixon, he's like been inconsistent like a couple times the past few years. Some games he's not as good as he is other games. Like I guess that's a stupid statement, but it's really apparent when you watch. But I don't know. I like how everything looks. They're confident in their roster. They didn't even have to have a 1st round pick this year, so obviously they are confident. Uh, so I respect that and what they did, what they proved in their quarterback as well. But like I said earlier, the Colts, keep an eye. Just saying.
Yeah. Um, Number 5, we got the Lions.
Yeah, I think they're just super good, and their quarterback duo they just got is gonna also improve that. Like, what's their defense is gonna be crazy next year.
Yep, they got
Uh,
Terrion Arnold. They've improved in free agency on the defense and in
they
draft
got
on the
EJ
defense.
Reader.
They improved in the did they improved in the defense on both free agency and in the draft, and they just improved in the draft and free agency in general. They should look really good again. They should be Super Bowl contenders again.
I'm just kind of waiting for Goff to fall off because remember how he looked the first year they sent him there. I mean, I know it's a way better team, but
I think Goff will look how he did last year again. He'll look good. With a good team, Goff is good. So I do think they eventually need to move on from him if they don't win a Super Bowl with him, because if they can't this year, and maybe even if they give him leeway and try him next year, then they need to move on from him. But the Lions should look just as good, if not better, and they should be Super Bowl contenders again this year.
Go them. The Ravens up here at number 4.
Yep.
Uh,
They didn't really change their team much. OBJ clearly wasn't a good fit. They had a good draft. They had a really good draft. Really, really good
yeah.
draft. They always have a good draft. They're Ravens. Um,
They also got Henry.
yeah, I'm also not like they haven't. They're not trying to tackle wide receiver too much.
They got that guy I wanted from NCU. Um
I remember
Fontez
that.
Walker
Yep.
or something like that. No, Walker was his last name. Is a Tar Heel, but yeah, they got that guy I wanted. So I like it a little bit. They re-signed Nelson Aguilar. He was a really good target for Lamar last year, surprisingly. He's not anything hot, but like it worked out for him. I seen him get like, let's see how many touchdowns he got, because I recall like at least 3 or 4 touchdowns for Nelson Aguilar last year.
He yeah. Aguilar did have a good season last year. I do remember that.
Let's see, last year
Then of course
he
you
had
got
35 receptions.
Mark Andrews coming back.
Yeah, he had 4 touchdowns last year.
Bateman's all right. They got Derrick Henry now.
They got, let's see how many they got. They got Walker, they got Aguilar, they got Bateman, they got Flowers. Who else? I think that's it, but I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
Flowers is good.
I like Flowers. I think he'll actually get better next year.
But yeah, that defense is nuts, and their offense should still be good regardless. I think Derrick Henry is going to be good, but it'll be dependent on how he fits there. But obviously, the Ravens will still be contending for their division and for a Super Bowl as well. Even though I think Lamar's time is running out in Baltimore to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, their window looked pretty close last year, but if Derrick Henry can be the splash move on offense that they're hoping, and their defense, like I think Nate Wiggins could make us like a big impact if he's schemed up right. They say his weakness is tackling, but if you cover somebody so well they can't get the ball, you don't have to tackle them. If that nobody wants to throw to your side of the field, I don't know. But in run support, I guess that'll be a problem.
All
Anyway,
right.
number 3.
Yep.
Do you want it?
Number
The
three,
Eagles.
the Eagles. So obviously they were really good last year until the very end of the season. They fell off, but they fired their coaches. They got new coaches, and obviously getting used to coaches is a thing. But they still have their core players. They look stacked, and they just had a good draft. They had a good free agency. They just they had 3 back to back good free agency and drafts, dude. Like what the fuck? They just keep
You talked
stacking
all
up,
that shit on
and they
Howie.
got and they got corners too. Now that might pan out, and maybe potentially the 2 best corners in the draft. Like that's crazy. And they got a good Will Shipley from Clemson. Man, the Eagles, they just look good. They're the only reason they're not higher is because they're not proven, but they're still number 3 because they're still proven, but they're not proven with their new additions. So they're gonna be Super Bowl contenders probably. They're probably gonna win the NFC East. They're gonna take it from us probably. So yeah,
The
Eagles at
uh
3.
the new coaching is just like the biggest thing. I think they'll be amazing. I think they should be the Super Bowl favorites out of the NFC. But it is with two new another coordinator, another on both sides. It is questionable if it'll get back to how it was 2 years ago. I think it will, but Fangio didn't do too well on the Dolphins last year, and like Kellen Moore, I don't even know how you could. I thought it was a big blemish on all the Chargers coaching staff last year during that Raiders blowout game. The fact that like it was pretty much backups on both sides, but the Chargers like couldn't score at all. Pretty much like they got like 20 something points or whatever, but that was like later after 60 something or whatever the Raiders scored. So I don't know. Kellen Moore, I'm more worried about than Vic Fangio.
Yeah, me too. And at number
Uh,
2, we have the 49ers, this year's Super Bowl loser. Um,
that
Obviously, their team looks about the same. They got Ricky Pearsall, which a good addition for them, especially if they're going to get rid of Ayuk or Debo. They still got CMC, Brock Purdy. They're going to have to work. Their window is definitely closing. They're going to have to worry about some contracts and stuff soon. But they still look good on defense and everything. If they can stay healthy, they should be Super Bowl contenders again. Not really much to say there. If Ricky Pearsall pans out, that'll be a great addition for their offense. Fucking just they're Super Bowl contenders. They could potentially win the Super Bowl.
I think
Obviously they just barely lost the Super Bowl this season. So, I mean, number two, Niners. Not much to say there.
I think they're gonna start losing guys, man. That like,
Yeah, they are
I think
soon.
halfway through the year.
This I think this might be their last hurrah.
Yeah, Kittle and one of the receivers is gonna be gone soon, and I don't know. Their defense is okay. Like Fred Warner, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he'll stay there forever. Maybe Bosa. Like if they get bad, they might have to trade Bosa. But this is just hope. I have no reason to be saying this. I just hope they collapse someday. Like I don't know. They almost didn't make the playoffs the year that they went to the NFC Championship game versus us. Uh, but we lost to them. But I don't know. Their stars are what carry them. Obviously, it's the same for most teams. But I think if you see like any of their pieces go down, and they didn't really do too great at replacing it, except Ricky Pearsall. Like I don't know about anything else in their draft. Honestly,
Yeah.
Ricky Pearsall's the only thing I know because it was like, whoa, there's a bunch of other players there. It's crazy. Uh, but yeah, I hope they suck. That's it.
Number one, we have the Super Bowl winner, back-to-back winner, Kansas City Chiefs looking to three-peat. Relatively have the same team. They did lose a little bit in free agency, but they also signed some dudes. They signed some guys back. And they reloaded as they always did in the draft. They tackled some key needs, especially wide receiver, especially since they didn't pick up Mr. Kadarius Toney's option. So, if Worthy pans out, Andy Reid likes his fast receivers. That'll be good for them. They just look like they're panning out to try and go for that three-peat. They'll be Super Bowl contenders again. They had a decent draft too. So, yeah, everything looks good for the Chiefs. Their mission is just to get the three-peat now.
They got a Kingsley Suimatia from BYU. I'm excited for that for him. I think that'll be a good tackle for them. He's a Samoan guy. Yeah, those Samoans are intense, man. So I don't know. And then they got some problems right now though. Rashee Rice he's a menace. Hopefully Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy and like their other guys will hold the fort down because I can see Rashee getting suspended like a year because this is like I don't know. Maybe the car thing would have just kind of like a couple games because you know how the NFL is with like the violence and shit. But now he's done it again, assaulting a reporter or some shit. So, yeah. And then that shooting happened. Like the Chiefs are under just like a lot of turmoil. It seems. I don't know, but I respect them, and I think just like Mahomes gives you such a chance to win every year. It's like who's even close to? I don't even know if Brady or I don't even know if Allen and Burrow are even really close to him. Like,
No,
you want
not
to say
really.
they are, but not really. It's just I don't know, and especially for like luck too. Like Burrow has gotten so unlucky compared to Mahomes, and just Allen, just I don't know.
Mahomes
Maybe
is
it's
on a
coaching.
fucking league of his own, dude. He's in
Yeah,
his
I don't know.
own. He's in his own tier.
Yeah, so that's mostly why they're at one, even though they have like a weaker roster than the Eagles, I'd say.
I
But
do agree.
that does it for our Shenanigans post draft power rankings. Uh the only thing really left for today is I wanted to talk about the roast of Tom Brady a little bit. I wrote
Yep.
some notes down. It's pretty funny. I can't remember every detail about all of these notes, but in the beginning it was Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, and Bill was like, "All right, you ready, Tom? It's your day." Or wait, no, shit, I messed it up. it was Bill Belichick talking to Drew Bledsoe, and he was like, "Go sit down. It's Tom's time." And Tom was like, "Thanks, coach," or some shit. But he was like, "Damn it, not again." But then yeah, Drew Bledsoe was there, Julian Edelman was there, Rob Gronkowski was there, Randy Moss was there, a bunch of other Patriots like Rodney Harrison, I think. I'm not gonna act like I remember who that guy is, but he was there. Uh, and there was a lot of black guys in there, and it was really funny because there was a lot of black jokes. So they were looking really pissed off. I mean, they were funny. I don't know what to tell you. They're really funny there. But Jeff Ross made a joke about Robert Kraft. He was like, Tom Brady came up to Robert Kraft and said, "Sir, I am the best thing that has ever happened to your organization. Would you like a massage?" And then Brady got mad at that. He said, "Don't do that shit again." Uh, what else? Belichick threw a flag at somebody. I don't know where. Belichick made a surprise appearance and then sat down the rest of the time. Somebody made a joke about him. I think it was Edelman or Gronk, and he threw a fucking flag at him. I don't know where he got it from. Uh,
Damn.
Dana White was there. He did 60 seconds of stand-up bullshit. It wasn't really funny, but it was cool to see Dana there. Do you have any idea who Tony Hinchcliffe is, by the way?
No, I don't.
He's a comedian and he does a podcast, but he had the funniest set, dude. It was really funny. He said something about Bert Kreischer, you're a king. You look like if the Liver King and I can't remember it, but it was funny. So something about Martin Luther King got beat up by Rodney King. I don't know. Uh, and then Gronkowski did a shot with Bill Belichick, and then he spiked the glass that he did it with. Like not spiked it like with drugs, but like spiked it like Gronk spike.
Yeah, I know what you
And
meant.
okay. Uh they gave Robert Kraft the mic there, and he was drunk as shit. Uh and he called out Vladimir Putin. He was like, "Putin, I want my ring back."
Damn.
Because he's got one of Kraft's rings.
Oh yeah, he
Uh
does. That's crazy.
yeah, and then Kevin Hart kind of forced Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft to do a shot together. Bill Belichick did not do the shot. He gave it to somebody else. But he stood there. Uh what else happened? Brady mentioned he said the NFL spent $20 million to come out with the result that I may have had some idea that someone was deflating my balls. He said, if you would have just gave me 20 million, I would have admitted it. But and then he said something about Kim Kardashian. He was like, "Thanks, Kim, for being here. I know this is hard for you because the kids are at home with their dad." Here's some shit. That was pretty funny. But yeah, that was a good roast. It's like 3 hours and it's on Netflix. Y'all should definitely go watch that shit if you like NFL. There was a lot of Aaron Hernandez jokes.
I
But
I've seen some of the
you're up.
clips. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that we can't really put any of that up there, but uh, maybe I'll go back and look at it and write some notes or something. Also, before we get into the Caleb corner, I wanted to mention that next week, or hopefully sometime soon, we'll start doing video for YouTube audiences. Caleb needs to find his webcam, and also I am in my tidy whities tonight because it's hot. So
It is pretty hot. I work
ready whenever
10
you
hour
are.
days now. But yeah. So getting into my corner, this is gonna be the biggest Caleb's corner ever so far. It's gonna be really big. It's gonna be pretty much NBA based. So I'm gonna get through my non NBA topics so far. Uh, you know, just first off, just so I just purely talk about NBA after that. I released a song recently. It is called Senile. Um, the style that I made it in is pretty much it's sort of inspired by cyber. I like cyber. I like Zillikami. I like a lot of music like that. I listened to that when I was in high school a lot, and I've really refined my writing and everything, and my friend is refined his editing and everything. So if you want to go check that out, I'll put it in the link in the description below if you want to check out and support my music. It's on all major platforms: Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, everywhere, YouTube. So yeah, but anyways, other than that, Madrid has officially won La Liga, and Barcelona has responded on Twitter again. they have said congratulations to them. This is great news. They've said this to them again. It's funny every time they say congratulations to them. Every time they win their league, it's fucking hilarious because they're fucking big rivals. But anyways, and then in the Premier League, you got Haaland leading for 5 goals by the for the Golden Boot right now. 25 goals, having a good season, not as good as last year. Man City getting kicked out of the Champions League. Madrid moving on, beating them in penalty kicks. Very bad fashion. Not Man City just looked like they didn't want it. They were making mistakes. It was kind of just sad to watch. But Haaland, he's still having a decent season otherwise. And with only about 3 or 4 games left in the Premier League season, Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal are in a 3-man race for the Premier League right now. Man City, I think, are going to take it. They have good odds. They always usually just take it out and win it, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. But Arsenal could win it, and Liverpool could win it. Liverpool, that would be good for Klopp going out on top because he's not going to come back next year and coach them. He's going to go somewhere else, so that would be good for him to go out on top there. But I think it'll be Man City. And then in baseball, the Braves are continuing their dominance. We still need to get a pitcher. And last thing in baseball that I wanted to talk about was the Marlins are fucking like horrible. They're historically bad. They even got blown out by the A's, dude. They got blown out by the A's. That's crazy. But anyways, getting into NBA topics, we went through some NBA topics earlier in the episode, but this is going to be some hefty stuff. So, first of all, I've just been thinking recently, like, Katie is not good enough to be talked in the same breath as Michael Jordan and LeBron James and Kobe Bryant and the GOATs and stuff like that in most people's eyes. Like even Steph Curry's in the GOAT debate. And but KD isn't like, he's not like, I mean, no disrespect to Dwayne Wade and Carmelo Anthony. These guys are top 20, 25 players of all time, man. Top 50. Like, these guys are amazing. They're legends. But he's not a D Wade or Carmelo Anthony type of player, like caliber player. Like, he is a generational one of one. I mean, those guys are generational one of one type players too, but he is amazing. Kevin Durant is amazing. He's like top 10, 15 all time, but he just will never be in the GOAT conversation because he's not a leader, and his rings have asterisks on them, of course, and just the way his career has gone after leaving the Warriors and how he left OKC and everything, and just how he acts, and it's sad to say. I mean, Kevin Durant gonna get on his burner and fucking shit talk us after this, but I don't know, man. It's sad because I really like KD too and his game, and he's still on top of his game, but he'll just forever have that not good enough narrative, like he's not good enough to be the Michael Jordan or the LeBron James, even though his level of play is on tier with those guys.
Would you say that his athleticism is like better or worse than guys like Wemby's for their build?
I'd say it's
All time? Like, has he ever been what Wemby looks like now, physically, athletically?
he was dunking on motherfuckers, dude. He's underrated athleticism, honestly.
Recently, I have not seen dunking. I'll be
Oh
honest, but I
yeah,
believe you.
honestly, yeah, but he's dunked on motherfuckers before. Like, not, he hasn't recently, but I've seen him dunk
Wemby,
on people before, man. I've seen him dunk before. I've seen him go up and be athletic. Underrated athleticism, at least earlier in his career.
that skinny build in basketball is tricky.
Oh yeah, some people can pull it off. KD does it really well. He's amazing.
For sure.
And then, speaking of KD, what the fuck can the Suns do? They're pretty much tied up in cap with their 3 giant contracts, their big 3. Bradley Beal, who, if you want to get, no one's going to take his contract, so you probably can't even get rid of him. If you want to get rid of someone, it's going to be KD or Booker. And then, I don't think Booker wants to leave, but there are rumors of him going to different teams. We'll get into that later. But you know, like if you trade Booker, it's Booker or KD, one of them. And I've heard rumors about both of them. I've even heard rumors about KD going back to OKC or even back to the Warriors and shit like that, man. Like, you never know. Like, obviously, KD is probably more comfortable switching teams since he's done that so many times already. But what can the Suns really do except run it back if they keep Booker and KD? Because they're not gonna be able to trade that big ass contract for real. At least not for nothing good. So what the fuck? So they're just gonna have bottom tier role players, and those three play. Like, what can the Suns do? You, it's trade one of those players and start over somewhere. Like, I don't see what the Suns can do. They're kind of in a purgatory. They need to figure it out. And then Donovan Mitchell. I've heard rumors that he's like, I don't know if he's not happy in Cleveland, but he didn't really want to go to Cleveland when he got traded and shit like that. And I've heard rumors of him, potentially going to the Heat because he wanted to go to the Heat at first. But I've also staying in the Florida region, going to a team of the Magic. I've heard they're looking for shooters, they're looking for consistent scorers. So they got
Him or Booker.
Yep, they got three guys in mind: Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, and fucking Klay Thompson, which is the
And
one y'all least want. But that's who I'm hearing for the shooter or scorer that y'all want.
I bet you we
Who
get
y'all
Clay.
could potentially get. Yeah,
I
probably
bet we get
it
Clay.
probably will be Klay, but
Or was it Paul George as well that we saw? I sent you a post about. Or
I
was,
think
was it?
I think he might go to the Sixers, man.
That'd be cool. Embiid needs a buddy. That's not Harden.
Yeah, speaking of which, the Sixers, like, what the fuck can they even do with Embiid? So it's I mean, Tyrese Maxey is good. He's getting better, and he'll probably get better. But even with him as the number two, what does that team do without Joel Embiid? Even with Tyrese Maxey on the floor, they're losing games. They're not. They're not playing well. They need a new team. They need a new philosophy. They need new something, man. That team's not working out. They need to blow it up. They need new role players. They need to do something. So I don't know what they can do for Embiid. They need to get him.
I would like
That Tobias
they-
that Tobias Harris contract is holding them the fuck back. They need to get rid of Tobias Harris. Get rid of Tobias Harris in that big ass contract and sign. I don't know. It doesn't even have to be a star. Just fucking sign better role players and maybe even just a mid scorer and maybe even find a gem in the draft, dude. I think they could find a way to fix it, especially with Maxey and Embiid right now.
I would have liked them to kind of build their roster similar to the Nuggets. Like, not there's not really like a second superstar next to Jokic, but like Murray's close, and then you've got guys like Aaron Gordon and Porter. So it's like,
It's a very unselfish team.
yeah,
That
that's what Embiid needs. He doesn't need Harden, you know.
Yeah, I like Maxey. I think they're going in the right direction. I think they can fix it, but I don't know what they'll do. And then, what the fuck are the Heat gonna do? Because I hear rumors of Jimmy Butler era in Heat might be over. I think they run it back one more year, but what are they gonna do? I think they need to get rid of Tyler Hero. Honestly, I've heard the rumors of them trying to trade, like them trading or him being on the trade block. I think they need to go ahead and do it. And because their guys are getting old, their window's closing. If they keep Jimmy Butler, they need to trade Tyler Hero. They need to get another scorer around him. They maybe even might want to try and shift Bam Adebayo from center to power forward and get a center, or maybe even start Jaime Jaquez, who's really good young player that they have. I think the Heat can fix it. I think the Heat window's closing, but they got another year or two with Jimmy, and I think that they just need to do that. But what'll they do? I don't know. I really don't know. But they need to figure it out if they want to win. And then the Pelicans, they've said themselves that they won't be complacent like they've been. You know, they've just been like, oh, we've just been injured. Oh, we need to run it back. He said they've seen enough. I don't know what that means. If that means trade Brandon Ingram or CJ McCollum or both of them or maybe even Zion. I don't think Zion though. I think Zion is the future. He's great. So I think they're keeping Zion. I think they might get rid of Ingram or CJ McCollum. So yeah. So what the Pelicans do in the offseason, free agency, and the draft or whatever the fuck they trade, it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting, hopefully, or at least they say so. They could be like Jerry Jones and lie, but I don't think they are. It's gonna be interesting to see what the Pelicans do. And shit, man, the Lakers and LeBron, what what can they do? You know what I mean? What can because they seem pretty happy-go-lucky. I don't know if they're even trying. Like, obviously, I don't think Darvin Ham is a good coach, and they just fired him. But can a coach really fix that, man? They seem pretty complacent. And like, what are they gonna do? Just go out and sign another star and have bottom feeder role players and fail and fade out like the Suns? Or are they gonna go actually, you know, obviously they ran it back. It didn't work out. They didn't go to the conference finals. Their first round exit. It's sad. D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt, Austin Reeves, all these guys don't work. Maybe you shouldn't have traded Kyle Kuzma and Caruso and KCP and key guys that helped win your championship for fucking Russell Westbrook to the Wizards. Maybe you shouldn't have done that, you know? But the Lakers need to go younger. They need defense. They need shooting. They need defense. They just need a team that meshes better, and it's sad because this is probably the most healthy season that LeBron and Anthony Davis have played together. So, what the fuck is happening? Like, what do you think the Lakers are gonna do, man? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it worked the first year, but I don't know. Anthony Davis, he's your super defensive star, and he's a bucket for sure. But it's like I would want someone younger, faster to score with you alongside LeBron and AD. They're pretty big guys and slow, so like the injuries, that's a big problem. I mean, it didn't happen this year, but that's a wasted year. Next year, there's no telling. LeBron can still be himself, but AD can get hurt again just because it's that year. And yeah, I don't know. They need to get younger, but they keep trading every year at the deadline for like depth, but they need another star. Like they have their depth already. They need a third star. D'Angelo Russell,
I
not
don't.
really it.
I don't know. I think they need different depth. They need different role players, and they don't need to focus on a third star. I think focusing on the third star is what got them there in the first place. Or if they get a third
What third
star,
star? Like Westbrook? That's
yeah.
what I
If they get
guess.
if they get a third star, they need to seriously fucking look at who it is.
I would want him to be young though. Like the Bucks getting Damian Lillard, that's cool, but like he's another
That's
old guy.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. Damian Lillard's not young.
Now, I'm not saying like go get Damian Lillard. I'm saying like that as an example was like not what I would have wanted the Lakers or someone in their position to do. Like maybe you get in the running for Devin Booker or some crazy shit. I don't know.
Yep. That's
I would
that's
like, yeah.
That's one thing I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the Bucks. What the fuck are the Bucks gonna do, man? Like, I think they need to focus on getting younger in their role player, and like I said earlier, trade Chris Middleton and everything if they want to go the Damon Giannis route, because I think that's fixable, and I think they could potentially contend for a championship. But yeah, going on to what teams can do. What can the Wizards do? Um, Jordan Poole, Kyle Kuzma. I think you need to ship them off somewhere. I think their careers would be better somewhere else, and they need to focus on that rebuild. Denny Avdija, and they have some other young players who are just getting better, and they need to focus on them, and they need to focus on the draft. They need to focus on this rebuild. You know what I mean? That's what I think they need to do. And then the Bulls, man, I don't even know what the Bulls are gonna do. They need to get rid of Levine. They need to get rid of DeRozan. They need to go. I think they just need to do full rebuild, man. They just need to do full
Listen,
rebuild and keep their young players.
DeRozan might be nice for a Laker, like the Lakers.
They
I mean,
talked that they talked about that as the potential third star when they were trying to get Westbrook. I remember that.
yeah, I mean, isn't DeRozan's younger than Westbrook, right? That's kind of mean. I don't know. Westbrook's game was kind of like ball hoggish. So when you have to split him with two guys, I don't know. Who was his coach then too? Was it Darvin Ham still? I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. Like Westbrook is like a ball hog
Or
type of
was it
guy.
Fred Walt or not Fred Walton? Fucking Fred Frank Vogel. Luke Walton. What the fuck? Luke Walton was before
When
Frank Vogel, but still Frank Vogel.
when Westbrook won his MVP, he was the only one left in OKC, right? Or am I tripping?
Yeah, pretty
Because I don't
much. It
think
was
KD and Harden were there.
Oh yeah, Harden was gone way before that, but KD had just left. That was the first year without KD that he won the
They
MVP.
played together, right? They all three played together though, right?
Yeah, they went to the
Yeah, and
finals together.
didn't they who did they fell 3-1 or some shit, like they choked a 3-1 lead against the Warriors or some shit. I don't remember.
Yeah, in 2016 in the
All right, that's when KD left.
conference finals. Yep.
But yeah, like Westbrook, like his MVP year was when he was the one guy left, and so I don't know. And he obviously still hasn't been producing with like Kawhi and Harden, so him as like the third guy, and that was never meant to be with hindsight. But DeRozan, I don't know. I just get him out of Chicago, man. I'd like the Lakers for me. It's about this window with LeBron. You have a legend with you. You don't just waste it on maybe because you've done this 2 years in a row where you just trade for depth and it's the wrong depth and it just like you're wasting his years. So it's like I don't know. I would make that push for like a DeRozan or a Booker or some crazy like I don't know, like even trade for not this isn't a superstar, but like maybe your third guy could be as simple as like a Franz Wagner or someone like that. You know, I don't know. Franz, like I don't know. Maybe not Franz exactly because I still want him as a Magic, but like someone young like that. Who was Reeves? Austin Reeves? Did he fall off?
Austin, I mean, kinda, but he's all right. I just don't think he fits with the Lakers as well.
I think, dude, when he talked to LeBron in that one clip that went viral, he looked real nervous. So I don't know.
His game's kind of spotty a little bit, but he's good. And the last team I wanted to talk about, what can they do, is the Rockets. I did not expect them to go 41 and 41. It's 500 exactly. I expected them to be worse. They had a winning streak in the middle of like very end like last few months of the season, and it was man they were looking good. They're looking better. Jalen Green getting better. It's nice, to see that. I really like Jalen Green. Highlights. He's a fucking human highlight reel. It's really good to see. I hope he pans out and I hope he grows more because he's shown flashes and potential of him being the franchise player that they want him to be. He's looking good. And Amen Thompson averaging 10 points. Coming off the bench, I think he's good. Another guard. I think he plays wing on the wing sometimes well. Especially with Jalen Green being their guard. Yeah, he's looking really good too. I like what the Rockets are doing there with those two young players that they have in them. And then you got Alperen Sengun, their young defensive and honestly he's a bucket too. But Alperen Sengun, I like him. I think he's gonna be an all-star. I think he'll be good. Like he'll be good. So they got some really good young pieces. They got Dylan Brooks. They have good role players, some good defensive pieces, man. I think I like what they're doing. They have Ime Udoka, the Celtics coach, when they went to the finals. You know, and I think they improve, especially in the draft. They're gonna get a good draft pick, I think. Obviously, they didn't make the playoffs, so they get a lottery pick, I think. I don't know if they traded that pick or not, but they'll have a good pick if they didn't. But I think they'll in free agency and in the draft they'll improve, and especially just they'll improve in general their young players, their young core, and maybe switch out some role players. But other than that, I think the Rockets are looking on the uprise. The Rockets are going to be a good team, like here in the next few years, like the next 2, 3, 4 years. The Rockets are going to be contenders, in my opinion. That's what I think about the Rockets.
Bro, Loki when they were coming up right at the end of the playoff, like all the teams getting locked in the playoffs, I see them getting hot. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
I think we even lost to them.
they almost beat out the Warriors, but at the very end, like the last 2 weeks of the season, they started losing again.
Yeah, I think they beat us up in the last couple weeks. I was nervous, man. I
Yeah,
don't know.
the Rockets look good, man. I like the Rockets and what they're building towards. I think the Rockets are gonna be good. And
It's funny
then
that people thought Dylan Brooks would just die there or whatever, but he's been good.
yeah, he has been. He's turned a career around. I really like it. He just needed to get out of Memphis and stop talking all that shit. And I just wanted to say that talk about the Anthony Edwards to Michael Jordan comparisons. He doesn't like them. I don't either. I don't like the comparisons, honestly, but I get what they're coming from. He's having a dominant run so far. Sadly, he's doing it to my Nuggets. It looks like they might take him to the finals, man. If he wins at the finals this young, it took LeBron and Jordan until they were both 27, 28 years old, I think, to win their first ring. So, yeah, if he can do it at the age of like 22, 23, that's gonna be nuts, man. Especially with him like having seasons how he's having and just getting better and better and looking how he's looking. Like he's gonna be the face of the league potentially. People talking about. And I wanted
Paulo has a word about that.
I wanted to talk about the draft really quick before I wanted to talk about the faces of the league and players under 25 who I think are up next. And because I don't think there's just one face of the league. There's multiple faces of the league. I mean, obviously you have LeBron. He was the face of that era, but people still remember KD. People remember Kobe. I mean, Kobe had his little era too, but Kobe was part of LeBron's too. So, people remember players like that and Russell Westbrook and that. Now you got the era right now of Luka and Jokic and Giannis, and now it's going into the new one, which I'm going to talk about later. But I want to talk about the draft and rookies. Wemby is statistically the best rookie since Jordan. He had a crazy fucking season. If this is the worst version of Wemby so far, and he just gets better and better, he's gonna light up the league and he's gonna be insane. I hope it happens. It's gonna be fun to watch him and Anthony Edwards compete. It's just gonna be fun, man. The league's gonna look fun.
Real quick,
I'm really excited.
Jamal Murray just got $100,000 fine for throwing the heat pad, so maybe he won't get suspended.
Woo! Hopefully we come back in the series. But yeah,
He needs to throw something harder than a heat pad.
talking about the draft now. Just this kind of a weaker draft. You know what I mean? Like, there's not really people are talking about SAR, but there's not really a set number one pick. It's kind of looking like the 2013 draft where people are like, what the fuck? I don't even know. And that draft actually turned out being like deep and good, but like it was like full of gems, not like it was more like the later first round picks and your later lottery picks and some of your second round guys that panned out and not your early guys. So you never know, but SAR is an interesting prospect. I think Washington was that his name? I don't know. One of them. I don't know too much about this class. I don't even think many people does. It seems like a weak draft class, but I do know. And the last thing I want to talk about this draft class is Bronny James. He's in this draft class. LeBron James said he's no longer gonna go to the team that drafts Bronny, so there's not the promise there. Does a team even draft him? Where does he go? Does this game translate better to the NBA than college? I think it does, but I don't know. Will he be good? Will he be a starter? Like, will he be a role? Like, even if he's a role player, will he be a good role player? Where's his fit in the NBA? I don't know. And just a random ass prediction of who I think is gonna draft him. He's gonna get drafted by the Bucks. Gonna get drafted by the Bucks or the Sixers. I bet it. One of those two teams. And then
The Bucks, man, he might go to the Bucks to play with Giannis. You never know.
hey
LeBron.
man, you never know. LeBron might leave. So you never know. But now I wanted to get into players under 25 that I'm excited for, who I think are up next and potentially the face of the league some of these guys aren't really face of the league type guys, but they're just guys under 25 that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about Scoot Henderson. He started off really, really bad, and he did have a really bad efficiency season, but I think it's fixable. He started getting better near the end of the season. I think maybe we gave him a little bit too much hype on draft day for what he could be, and whatnot, and we gave him maybe too high of an expectation to potentially be better than Victor Wembanyama and whatnot in the draft. But I think it's fixable. I think Scoot, he could be good. The guy who got drafted before him, Brandon Miller, he's looking good. He was fun to watch, man. He's really fun. I like his I really like his shooting, man. He's a good 3-point scorer, and he's a good slasher too. He has a lot of room to improve. I really like Brandon Miller. I like him in Charlotte with LaMelo Ball getting into him. One of the other players, 25 and under. Talking about LaMelo. Of course, man. Fucking, if he could just stay healthy, then maybe the Hornets could do something, you know? You never know. Then I wanted to get on to the Timberwolves. They got Jalen McDaniel and Naz Reid. Two guys who just both defensive guys. Reid can score, but you know, he's a good defender. And Jaden McDaniel's really good defender. They're only gonna get better. They're so young, dude. That Timberwolves, they're so young, dude. The Timberwolves look nuts, man. They look like they're gonna be a force to reckon with for a while, especially that defense, especially Naz Reid and Jaden McDaniel. Then getting in the Rockets, Amen Thompson and Jalen Green. Of course, I wanted to talk about them. Amen Thompson, he had a good season, and Jalen Green, near the end of the season, he started to show what he could be, the potential, and I think he will reach his potential, especially with the coach he has and everything. And I think they're building the right team around him. I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be an all-star, man. He might be a superstar. He's gonna be one of the faces of the league potentially, man. I bet on it. And you got the Kings, who have Keegan Murray. I like Keegan Murray, man. Keegan Murray is really good. Averaging 16 points this year. He had 41% 3-point shooting last year in his rookie season, but now it's down to 37%. But he's still good. He's a good wing. He's a good player overall. I like his defense. Keegan Murray, good player. I think he's more of a role player, number 2, number 3 type of guy, rather than your star type of player. But Keegan Murray, shout out to him. Shout out Tyler Hero too. Your scorer. He's good, man. He's really good. He's just a shooting, scoring machine, man. And he's gonna be like that 6th man of the year type of guy, or even if he starts, he's gonna be like scorer, man. He's gonna have a role, you know. I don't think he's gonna be a star. He might be a couple-time All-Star, but he's not gonna be your superstar. Same thing with Jaime Jaquez on the Heat. I like him too. He's from UCLA. I remember him. I didn't know if he'd pan out. He's panning out really good. Really high field goal percentage, 50%. He's been decent from 3, 35%. I really like him. I think he's gonna pan out. And go into Timberwolves. Going back, I said the Timberwolves. I meant the Trailblazers. Going back to the Trailblazers, I was talking about Scoot earlier. Now I got to talk about Anthony Simons. I don't know if he's gonna stay on the Timberwolves or Timberwolves. God, the fucking Trailblazers. What the fuck is wrong with me? I don't know. That might be someone who the Lakers want to go after. Anthony Simons. He's averaging 25 points per game this year. He could do a little bit better on the shooting, but you know, with taking how many shots he's taken and everything, and having to fill role of Damian Lillard and everything, he's doing pretty good, man. I really like I like what he is. He's a high level point guard, man. He's a high level guard, high level scorer. He can even pass around, get you some assists too. And then this guy on on the OKC, Jalen Williams, he's gonna be number 2. Like obviously Chet Holmgren's good. He's changed that team. He's a game changer for OKC, but Jalen Williams is gonna be Shea's number 2. He's a scorer. He's really good. He's fucking crazy shooter, man. He's really, really good. Darius Garland on the Cavs. You know, the Cavs have a lot of guys. Jerry Allen, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland. But Darius Garland for sure. Especially, I think they made the right decision with getting rid of Colin Sexton and going with Darius Garland. Even though I do like Colin Sexton a lot. But he was the better fit in Cleveland, Darius Garland. I don't think he's reached his top yet. I think he could still get a little bit better. A lot of people think he's reached his ceiling, but I think he's really good. He's already an all-star. He had a little bit of a dip this year in play, but I think he'll be good, man. He'll be really good. Jaren Jackson Jr., he's already a defensive player of the year, defensive monster. 24 years old, averaging 21 points per game. Good. He's an okay rebounder for his size. He's not the best rebounder, but he's an okay rebounder. He's a monster defender, though. Monster shot blocker. He's gonna be one of the faces of the league defensively for sure. He's gonna be that defensive star, and he's gonna be number 2 to Ja Morant in Memphis. And Cade Cunningham, I have here. He was the number 1 overall pick the year before Paolo Banchero. And the thing I have to say about him, he looks more like a number 2 than a number 1. I don't think he's a leader. I don't know, though. He could change completely. He's a really good player. Really, really good individual player. I think he's more of a number 2 type of player. I don't think he's a leader. But he's a scorer. He gets assists. He's a pass, man. He even gets rebounds. He's everything. He could work on his shooting a little bit, his accuracy. But he's good, like playmaker. He can create a shot. He's a good scorer. He can rebound all right, you know. Like, I don't know, man. And then you got on the Magic, you got Paolo and Franz and Jalen Suggs, all of them. But Paolo's going to be the guy who I'm looking at to be the star. I think he's going to be a superstar in the league. I think he's going to lead the Magic to that same caliber that Shaq or Dwight led them to be. I think they're going to be a contender in the next few years. And I think they'll be good, man. I think Paolo's going to be really good. He's going to be a superstar. That's my fucking prediction, man. He's going to be a superstar, just like Shea.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm not saying his game going to be just like Shea, but I predicted Shea was going to be a superstar before he was a superstar. So I think Paolo is. Then, obviously.
What was the only thing consistent about our playoff run?
Obviously, I talked about Alperen Sengun earlier. I don't really need to talk about him much. He's just really good. Defensive guy, score, everything, center, big man, love him. Then John Morant, of course, and Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson's done a good job at staying healthy and finally becoming that number 1 guy, molding into that. John Morant's done that now. Obviously, they're going to be 2 faces of the league going forward. They're not going to be as big of names as we thought, especially with Wemby coming in and everything. Anthony Edwards rising to the height that he has, but they will be faces of the league. That is for damn sure. Then you got Chet Holmgren, the 3rd star on OKC, behind Jalen Williams and Shea. He's a game changer for them. He completely changed their team for being a play-in. He's the reason why they're the number 1 seed, man. Once he's there, they change it. And then you got Tyrese Maxey. I like Tyrese Maxey a lot, man. Tyrese Maxey is the shit. I think he's a good number 2. I think he only gets better, man. He's a fucking crazy scorer. I think he's a good number 2 alongside of Embiid. And then next up, we got Tyrese Halliburton for the Pacers. That man is a monster. Oh my god, dude. When he started like shooting really good, he's a good shooter, and he's efficient. He scores too, shooting 24 points per game this year. That's crazy. I remember when he was scoring, and he has averaged a league high 13 assists per game, like 12 and a half. Like, that's insane. He's a scorer and he's a playmaker. He's everything, man. He's gonna be a superstar. He's the face of the league, in my opinion. Then obviously, Luka's still 25. He's averaging damn near a 34, 35 point triple double, and an MVP candidate. We know what Luka can do, obviously. And then, who I wanted to say for last, the guys who I think are gonna be going at it for the face of the league. The 2 guys who I think are going to be the big debate of the era. Anthony Edwards and Victor Wembanyama. A guard and a big. 2 phenomenal players who just have the ability to do everything all around. One's smaller, one's bigger. One's a shot blocker, one's big fucking dunker. But Anthony Edwards, don't slouch on him. He's a great defender too. Man, that's just fucking nuts, man. And that's all I had for my players under 25. And the last thing I had on my corner to talk about was just some free agency and some coaching speculation. You know, Tyronn Lue says he wants to keep on passing. He said he wants to keep on coaching the Clippers. You know what I mean? Fucking yeah. What the fuck?
No, I don't know if he wants to keep coaching the Clippers. I don't know the Clippers
okay.
coach. I forget. Sorry, sometimes I mute myself while you're doing your corner, unless I have a question for you.
Uh,
I don't want to interrupt you if you don't want to have a conversation about certain things. But, like, yeah, the coaching, I don't know too many great coaches in the NBA. I'll be totally honest. Like, I thought our guy was good, and I just heard some people talking shit about Jamal Mosley's not, like, a top coach. So,
I mean,
I don't know anything.
He's a younger coach. He's a newer coach. I think he's good. He has everything ahead of him. It's probably just because he lost. You know, it's just immediate reaction. It's just some bullshit. You know, Darvin Ham's gone. Who's gonna be there for the Lakers now? Who the fuck are they gonna hire? I don't know.
Doc Rivers.
Adrian Griffin. Who knows, man? There's just
that guy should probably get a job
Monty
again,
Williams
right?
potentially on the hot seat for the Pistons. You know, like, I don't know, man. There's a lot of, and then Mike Budenholzer potentially coming back for a head coaching spot. Man, maybe he's the Lakers guy. You know, but you never know. There's some coaching spots opening up that's kind of interesting. But I wanted to really get into free agency. Jason Tatum coming up on a player option this year. You know, most times they will decline the player option, obviously, especially at someone the caliber of Jason Tatum, especially with him being the leader of a team that is potentially going to the finals. Yeah, man. He's declining that player option. He's getting a big bag. I think he's going to get it from the Celtics, obviously. I don't think he goes anywhere. And then you got Jalen Brunson with a player option. I don't think he opts into it, man. I think he gets a big bag, man, because he can get a bigger bag than what he already got. But you never know. He could, but I still think he goes back to New York. Donovan Mitchell has a player option. He's gonna opt out of that. He doesn't want to be in Cleveland. I really think he doesn't want to be in Cleveland, and he's gonna look to go somewhere else. Maybe it's the Heat. Maybe it's the Bucks. Who knows? Maybe it's Miami. Maybe Orlando. You never know. Scotty Barnes is a
Orlando Magic.
restricted free agent, but Scotty Barnes is he's probably gonna stay.
I would like Scotty
Laurie
on the Magic.
Markkinen, Laurie Markkinen is very, very interesting. I don't know if he's gonna stay in Utah or not. I don't think he should. Laurie Marketing, you know, stretch four, floor spacer, hitting shots. He's a scorer, fucking rebounding guy. You know, he can do a lot for a team. He's a good scorer, man. Like for a team that needs a scorer, who needs a big like a four, like a wing, fucking player, man. Laurie Markkinen is who you're looking for. I don't know who potentially would be looking to get him, but I don't think he stays in Utah. And then you got Paul George, who is a free agent. I think he's out of there, honestly, but I think it's to the Sixers. But if he doesn't go to the Sixers, I think he goes back to the Clippers. I know I just said he's out of there, but I don't think he goes anywhere else. I just really, really think he's going to the Sixers. Brandon Ingram, I think they're going to try and do some kind of sign and trade. I don't think New Orleans is going to let him off the hook without getting something out of him, you know? LeBron James, he has that option, but he's going to enter free agency most likely this summer. I think he stays with the Lakers, but you never know. He could move around, man. The Sixers, the Rockets, those were two places that he was looking to go to other than the Lakers. But I think he's set on just living in LA for the rest of his life, you know, and the rest of his playing career at least. Because I think he likes living there. I think his family likes living there. So, if anywhere,
You don't think he would go to the Warriors?
Maybe the Warriors, because that's in. Maybe the Warriors just because that's in Cali. It's not too
I just
far
thought
away.
KD might go there.
That too, yeah. So I see Warriors, Rockets, and Philly as the potential if he doesn't stay on the Lakers, which I see as the most likely destination for him is staying on the Lakers, honestly. And Jamal Murray is a free agent. I think we re-sign him. I don't think he's looking to go anywhere else, but if someone else scoops him up, that'll be fucking interesting and a big loss for us. And Julius Randle has a player option for New York. He's definitely gonna opt into that because ain't nobody fucking paying him that much money. So he's gonna be in New York for one last year. Even though I think he's a better fit somewhere else, so he's probably gonna opt into that. Rudy Gobert has a player option. He's getting older. He's getting into his 30s. I don't think he can get a big-ass contract like he's on. So he's going to opt into that player option, play one last year in Minnesota, most likely. Kyrie is on a player option in Dallas. Kyrie is also mid-30s. You never know with Kyrie, but I think he opts in. I think he likes playing with Luka Doncic, and you never know what contract he could get at his age. So I think he's already on a big contract, so I think he opts into his player option, stays in Dallas for another year, no matter what happens. Jimmy Butler's in Miami. There have been some tension there. People talking about that. I think he opts into his player option. I think he stays in Miami. If he goes somewhere else, you know, he could potentially go back to Philly. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know where else Jimmy Butler would fit, though. But Jimmy Butler would be a good fit on a lot of teams. But I don't know where he'd go if he opt out. But I don't think he's going to opt out. I think he's going to opt into his deal. He's making a lot of money. I don't think anyone's going to pay him that much, so he's going to stay in Miami for
I
at least
think Jimmy
a year.
could leave.
I think he
I
could
do
too
think
with
he
the
could leave.
tension, but I think he opts in and I think he stays.
I would get fucking like annoyed at being the best player on my team for so many years and just like doing the same. Like we barely make it through the regular season, but then I have to go off in the playoffs while fucking like Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, I guess, do their thing. But like it's mostly Jimmy. So I don't know. I could see him leaving.
Yeah, I feel
They're like
that.
the Steelers, kind of. Like think about it.
That's funny.
Like they barely make it, and they fucking but they do every year. Like
Yeah, and they
I don't know the
sometimes make deep
Steelers,
runs.
and they have that coach. They have Spo.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Derek
I don't know.
White,
So,
I don't even know where he would go. but he is a free agent. I don't know where he'd go. He might just re-sign with Boston, but Boston might be tied up in cap with having to, sign Jason Tatum and having Jaylen Brown on that big fucking $300 million deal. So they might be tied up a little bit. He fits on a lot of teams. He's a very good playmaker, and he's a very good three-point shooter. So, I think he might be gone. Maybe the Nets. Maybe the Nets might want him. I don't know. The Raptors. I don't know. Someone's getting Derek White, though. Someone is getting Derek White, and I don't think it'll be Boston.
I'd rather him than Clay.
Yep. You could take him. Y'all could totally get him. That's totally a possibility. He's a good defender, too.
We got guys like Joe Ingles and Gogo Batadze last year, so I could really see us getting some guys like that again.
Oh, and Derek White's younger, too. Derek White's 27. He's in his prime, dude.
That's not bad. I like that.
You got OG Anunoby in New York, a fucking great defender. He's just good. He's probably gonna opt out of his deal. I don't know if New York sticks with him, but whoever gets OG is gonna be good. I don't really think New York is gonna stick with him. Miles Turner in Indiana, the shot blocking master, floor spacer, good at 3-point shooting. Really weird, really good, really weird combo. 3-point shooting, blocking center. Yeah, he's a free agent. I don't know where else he'd go. I think he's just gonna re-sign in Indiana. But either way, man, I just think he's gonna be an Indiana lifer. He's been there for a while, so either way, whoever gets him they're getting a good player, defense and offense, but mainly for the defense. Aaron Gordon has a player option. He's gonna opt into that most likely. Fred VanVleet has a team option. I think Houston. I don't know if Houston opts into that. That's a lot of money for him, but I think they do just because of how good they've been doing and just to build on what they've been building on. But I think they need to get rid of Fred VanVleet because they have Amen Thompson and Jalen Green. They already got their guards. They could get rid of him. Honestly, I could see them moving on from Fred VanVleet and potentially, going for some wing players and whatnot. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think they take his option. I think Fred VanVleet's in Houston for a little bit longer. Jalen Johnson in Atlanta's a restricted free agent. He probably stays there. Jalen Johnson, I like him though. He's good. Drew Holiday, he's not staying in Boston. He might retire. Well, actually, I heard he might run it back with Boston. Like, he might take a pay cut just to run it back with Boston, depending on what happens this year, especially because they're championship contenders. But I heard talks of him retiring. I don't think he goes anywhere else but Boston, though. He's either going to re-sign with Boston or retire, but Boston can't pay him no money for real, so he's going to have to take a big, big pay cut. D'Angelo Russell for the Lakers. I think the Lakers need to get rid of him, but knowing the Lakers, they'll probably re-sign him. But I don't know where he fits, man. Alex Caruso, I think he needs to leave the Bulls. I think he needs to go somewhere. He needs to go back. Maybe the Lakers are good. The Lakers are a good fit for him. Maybe he needs to go back to LA, man. Maybe the Clippers. Shit, man. We need him. We could sign him. We need him. Come here. We need you, defense. We need you, role player defense. We need you, guy. Replace fucking Bruce Brown. And then we can win a championship again. But yeah, Alex Caruso, I don't think he comes back to Chicago. Bruce Brown got a giant contract. Well, not really giant, but he got a pretty big contract to Toronto. Or not Toronto, Indiana. They got traded to Toronto this year. He's still a good finisher, and he's still a good defender. So he's still a good role player, but he's getting up there in age, about 30 now. So I don't know. I think Toronto wants to hold on to him. I think they keep him. I think they could use him for now. You got Naz Reid, Minnesota, a player option. I think he opts out. Naz Reid is looking like he's on the uprise. I don't know if Minnesota has enough money to keep him, but I think Minnesota is going to try to keep him. He's a good center for the future, especially because Rudy Gobert, I don't think he's your long-term center of the future. And that's all I really wanted to go on for free agents for real. So that's all I had for my corner today. If you wanted to get into the shenanigan, and then we can get right into that, because this episode is running long.
The shenanigan of the week.
Yeah, and before I get to the shenanigan anyway, I do have an honorable mention for a shenanigan. Tito Ortiz was at some random ass MMA event, and he decided to chuck a microphone, but he hit himself in the face. So that was pretty funny. And then into the actual shenanigan. This week during UFC 301, Anthony Smith submitted Vitor Petrino 2 minutes into their fight with a guillotine choke, and during the announcement of the winner, Bruce Buffer said, "The judges have put in their official decision. The winner by guillotine choke in the first round, and still undefeated." And he started saying Vitor Petrino, and then he was like, "Excuse me, Anthony Smith." Dude, the excuse me is so funny. If I ever get a soundboard, I'm putting that shit on there. Excuse me. Wait, I got. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna find this. I'm just gonna play it into the microphone. Excuse me. Shit. That's it. I don't know. Excuse me. That really got me. Pardon my coughing. It's the end of the episode, so I'm not gonna mute it anymore. I'm all done. I was gonna ask you about Drake and Kendrick shit a little bit, but we can save that for next time.
Yeah, it'll probably have a more even fucking better update next week, and who knows, maybe it'll be over next week and we get to fucking rehash it out.
It seems over already, but maybe Drake will come back again.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Kendrick's already killed him in my eyes, but
I think so too.
yeah.
But Drake's songs are better. I like his songs out of Kendrick's disses are better, but Drake, his songs are better, I think.
Obviously I like Kendrick better, but I feel like Drake's song, they're more responses, and fucking Kendrick is like just coming after his life and fucking going after him, and Drake is more just responding. But still, I think Kendrick's killing his ass.
Because I feel like Drake has more fucked up shit. He's trying to keep it like at a certain level. Because Kendrick's already talking about his teammates a pedo and shit. But I'm getting into it. We'll get into it.
One.
I'd say Drake's one, but whatever. We should probably wrap this up.
Yeah.
A pretty good episode, man. Yeah, the Heat is the NBA Steelers. That's gonna live on in my brain now. Yeah,
man,
I'm all done.
Was a good episode. Great episode. Yeah. See y'all in the next one. Peace.